What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I'm your host, I'm your host, Nick. Unfortunately, your favorite co-host of this show, Natalie Joy, is not feeling well today. We are in that third trimester of twins, and not every day, no days are the same. Do you guys know what Braxton Hicks is?
No.
I'm
what
familiar.
Is it?
I didn't either. Apparently, and I probably am getting this wrong out there, internet moms out there who have, it's like they're contractions that feel like you're going into labor, but you're not really going into labor.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. So
it says they're often called practice contractions or false labor.
Yeah.
To prepare the body for childbirth.
Right. Also just a big pain in the ass for anyone out there who has experienced
So
them.
brutal.
Send Nellie your best. She is doing okay, but she's taken today off as she should. But we have a great week lined up for you. We got 3 reality recap episodes this week with some amazing guests. Obviously, Perfect Match is up and running. We're enjoying it. It's a great season thus far, and we got all the interviews that you can possibly ask for and more. In addition to that, we got the incomparable, talented, and iconic Cynthia Bailey with us today to get into all things Atlanta Housewives. She is immersed in the drama, and we are excited to have Cynthia join us to help break it all down with us. I'm glad we finally got back into Atlanta. I know Justin's always been in it. I finally caught up.
So good.
What a fun, messy group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
messy. Oh my gosh. I'm shocked.
Anyways, we are excited to have Cynthia with us, and she joins us in just a moment. But before we get to Cynthia, now's a good time to remind you that Viall Files Plus is ad-free. You can get some amazing bonus content available on that, like a reality recap deep dives where we dive deep into your favorite reality TV shows and into our lives. We tell stories. We get deep. We get vulnerable. We also have our pop culture, pop extra roundup where we talk about, we get into the weeds of your pop culture topics. Plus, you got your update specials, all your favorite updates from your favorite Ask Nick callers. So be sure to check that out. Just go to viallfiles.com to sign up, and you'll be glad that you did.
And then Justin and I did a little takeover on Plus as well.
Yeah. If you
So-
like listening to us, Gab.
Get your Gen Z takes, all from Justin and Mary. Lots going on in the world of pop culture and reality TV. But before we do, Natalie and I, we're up at the lake. It's really enjoyable. It's wonderful. We went to a Luke Combs concert. Natalie, it's always nice because when we're at the lake, it's like we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I wouldn't say middle of nowhere. I mean, we're fine. That's a little dramatic saying middle of nowhere, but it's a bit rural.
Where's the closest city?
There's a Walmart 20 minutes from us.
Hell
Okay.
yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever go sit in the parking lot just for fun?
No.
Oh.
You ever drink a
That's
40 in a
amazing.
Walmart parking lot, Nick?
I haven't. Is that a thing?
Yeah, but we're from the other side of the country.
Yeah,
so.
sorry, you got a Florida, Virginia girl.
Anyways, shout out to Luke Combs. That man fucks.
You said
Yeah.
it was a last minute concert. That's what I saw Natalie post.
Last minute for us. I think Luke Combs and his team have been planning this for some time.
Well, yeah.
It was at Lambeau
Yeah.
Field. It was a 2-night extravaganza. We went to the first night, but
Ooh.
Natalie discovered it last minute, which was kind of cool. It was kind of my point. 'Cause it's like, usually when we come up here, it's very much like nesting, relaxing, enjoying the lake. Obviously, the house that we did, it's very relaxing. It's very comfortable. I sauna, I hot tub. Natalie can't do any of that stuff right now, obviously, because she's pregnant. But there's a lot of things that she can enjoy. But it's nice that when we get to go out and like get outside of the house, it's really nice. Luke Combs, what a talented man. I'm wearing a sweat. Concert merch is great
Wow.
merch.
Nick, what is your favorite concert merch you've ever gotten?
Easy answer. Ariana Grande, Coachella, black hoodie.
Ariana Grande.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
I wore it the day I met Natalie.
Oh,
Wow.
cute.
And it's also just like a dope sweatshirt. It was before the oversize era.
Well, she created the oversized
She did
era.
create the
Mhm.
oversized era.
I don't think, I mean, as much as I think my wife is very talented and very much of a visionary in fashion and has great taste, I don't think she invented that.
No.
Oh, no, we were saying Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande created
Oh,
the
she did.
oversized
Okay.
one.
Well, she
period.
didn't, but
Um,
she kind of brought it back for that generation.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
I thought you were like trying to give it to say like Natalie invented the oversize. I'm like, don't like, why are you trying to get the internet coming for us?
Just a little rage bait.
I love how you nicely like declined it though for her.
Politely, she's incredible and
Politely.
amazing. However, I do not think we can attribute the fashion ideology
Right.
of oversized to Natalie Joy.
I am very excited to pass that hoodie down to my daughters.
Oh,
Aw.
that's cute.
It's going to be vintage Ariana
is.
Tour merch for your daughters. That's so chic.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Wisconsin people. It's always good to be back at the lake, get back with my roots. I'm also just very thankful that my wife has embraced lake life.
Mm.
It's also something I feel like I'm really grateful that Natalie and I do, because obviously we she's from the South, I'm from the Midwest, and we both kind of left the nest, so to speak. We moved out to the coast.
Hmm.
And I'm always like, I was up at the lake with my uncle. Maybe I've told this story. I don't know. And I'm just going to tell it again. But I was at the lake with my uncle. He was up visiting. My mom's brother, so obviously the lake is very important to him as well. And it was over Christmas, and he's like, you're really lucky, man. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, my aunt, his wife, she never really enjoyed the lake life, so to speak. And the reality is, when like you marry someone who's like not from your community and not from your hometown, it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to embrace it like you embrace it.
Yeah.
And I always know like how important like Savannah, Georgia, and Alabama are to Natalie, and obviously the farmhouse, her sister's farmhouse, and how important that is to her. Obviously, we got married there, so there's a sentimental like connection that I have to it. But like, I'm really grateful that we both like recognize the importance we both have to like what we call home. And we both like encourage each other to spend time there. And like, we both, we don't make it difficult for each other to like go home, so to speak. And that's something I've always really been grateful for of Natalie. And also just like, it's just good to like, now that we have the lake, to really kind of get back. I've been out of Wisconsin for so long. They're still my people, Anyways, it was good to experience. And also just in 2026, I feel like concerts are saving humanity.
I agree completely.
Human experience.
They're getting people outside, you're connecting, no one's othering each other. Everyone's just,
Yeah.
they're all there to just experience great music, great vibes, good people.
Mhm.
Agree.
I think we're also moving away from the super overly expensive scalped prices of like concerts. Like now a
Agreed.
lot of the websites are cracking down on that, and like I'm going to a Kesha concert for $50.
Oh, fun.
So it's like
We
a lot
need it.
of like
When
it's
is
coming
that?
back. Like
Ooh,
next
I
week.
would like to see Kesha
But-
concert.
Are there still tickets on sale to this Kesha concert?
There
do you
might be.
think? Okay, interesting.
But
We'll
anyways,
circle
like you
back
can
on
go
that.
to concerts now, and it's like getting back to like the normal prices where like artists aren't, and it was never the artists that were trying to
No,
exploit
it was
their-
Third
Ticketmaster.
parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May I tell the most incredible experience I recently had at a concert that reaffirmed my belief in humanity?
Yeah, that's so nice.
So I saw Hayley Williams this last Tuesday. She played at the Wilter, and it was incredible. It was amazing. And this thing happened where I got my contact stuck behind my eye, and I could not get it out.
Oh,
And
gosh.
so I went to the bathroom during the one song in the album that I'm not like completely obsessed with. And so I go to the bathroom and I still can't get it out. So then I go to, there's like this mirror outside of the bathroom that's like well lit. I think maybe I can get it out. Also, full disclosure, perhaps I had some weed and also a beer. So I was not exactly in a place where it was going to be as easy for me as it could have been to get this contact out.
Fair.
I still cannot get it out. I'm like kind of tweaking, freaking out. This girl walks out of the bathroom and she is gorgeous girl, tatted up, like really cool, exactly the type of baddie you would expect to see at Hayley Williams. And she goes, "Do you need any help?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And so she goes,
Aw.
"Let me wash my hands." She runs to the bathroom, washes her hands. She is like, "Girl, I've been there before."
What a thoughtful queen.
She
Yeah.
gets up in my eye and is like, "I can help you." And she's really
Wow.
helping me out. And then this other woman from the corner was like, "Do you two know each other?" And we both go, "No." And she goes, "That's amazing." Anyway, we located the contact. I get it back. I had eye drops, put it
Aw.
back in. We go back out. I give her a huge hug. And I was like, "Thank you so much. You saved my life." She was like, "I have been there, girl."
Wait, this is so nice.
And I just felt so safe and like held by
Honestly,
every single person at that Hayley Williams
it's
concert.
a good story.
And I do just want to say, if this girl hears that, thank you so much, mama. And two, that's the power of Hayley Williams, and that's the power of live music.
Yeah.
Nick, you're absolutely right.
Susie, welcome back.
Beautiful.
Susie's back with us, joining the household.
Thank
How have you been, Suze?
you.
What have you been up to?
Good. Oh my gosh, I gave everyone hugs today when I came in. I was like,
know.
I missed you guys, but I'm good. I froze my eggs. I was in Chicago. Got these eggs on ice.
Woo!
Yeah. Hoping to be a mama bear someday.
Okay. Is that
but-
like our congratulations in order for freezing eggs? Is that What's
Yeah,
the
sure.
what's
I
the
think so.
I'll
proper
accept it.
conversations around freezing eggs? Did you learn something new that you didn't know about the
Yes.
freezing egg process that you maybe like heard from like, because I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
are talking about it more and more.
Yeah.
But were there still any surprises?
For sure. I think, I mean, the whole process, I wish I'd started sooner. And I posted about it, and so many people reached out that were like 38, 39 that are either trying to get pregnant or going through IVF. And they're like, I wish I had done this when I was your age. You're going to be so grateful that you're doing this now. And I even waited until I was 32 because I thought, like, oh, I don't want to take away from my future eggs. Like, what if I want to just get pregnant naturally? Is this going to like affect that? And I just assumed that I was taking eggs from my future. And I learned through this process, and I was like, am I dumb? But the OVA where I got it done, they're like, no, people come in all the time and they have the same thought about it, that you're taking your future eggs, but you're not. Every month your body recruits, like, it could be 2, it could be 30, depends kind of like your levels and stuff, but follicles, and they all have the potential to be an egg, but your body only creates 1 egg from those follicles, but the process matures as many as you can like retrieve. So you're not taking away from future fertility. You're just preserving what you have like literally in that moment, that month. So some people get 50 eggs like crazy. I got 11. So I might go back and do another round in a few months. But
Are eggs follicles?
so they call the follicle like a house for the egg.
Okay.
So a follicle may not have an egg in it. So like when they could see 14 follicles, and they actually extracted 14 follicles, but I think only 12 had eggs, and then only 11 were like mature or something like that. So they only froze 11.
Because you're born with the same amount of eggs that you have throughout life, right?
Yeah,
Forever,
it does make a lot of sense that you would have that question, because you are taught as a woman growing up that you have a certain amount of eggs. And so it would make sense to be like, oh, I'm taking away from that supply. That seems scary. But that is like really interesting to kind of like recontextualize that.
Yeah. And it's like, because you know how you learn growing up, it's like, oh, you only have 1 egg a month, but you have multiple follicles. And like as you get older, it goes lower and lower. So I wish I had started, like, because I've been thinking about this for years. I wish I'd done it like when I was 30, because maybe I would have had 20 or 30 follicles to choose from, but now I've got 11 or again, I've got 11 eggs. But I'm still really happy with that number. Yeah.
Now, is this something you're doing, like, is it like a just in case type of thing? Like, what is the thought process that you or other women who decide to do this at any stage of life, like, what are reasons or indicators that might make you do it? Because it sounds like when you say, oh, I don't want to take like future eggs away from possible fertility, is that like, if and when you meet a man of your dreams, it sounds like you still might do it the old fashioned way, so to speak,
For
right?
sure.
And then like if complications arise for whatever reason, then you have these on standby?
Yeah, exactly. So as you age, the reserve goes lower and lower. So also something I learned, like you can at any age just go get your levels checked. Like you can look it up, and there's like things you can look for in your blood work, and then ultrasound, like an internal ultrasound will show you kind of like what you're working with.
Oh wow.
So you kind of can have an idea of like where your fertility is, because like my cousin did it at 29 and she only got 6 eggs. And so keep in mind, 11 eggs doesn't mean 11 babies. For every 16 eggs, that like statistically equals 1 child. So I know. So that's like another misconception is you think 11 eggs, like, oh, you don't need 11 kids. But like just based on like the process, like you lose so many along the way.
Yeah.
So 16 kind of is like the number of like for 1. So the idea is that hopefully I meet somebody, yesterday and can try the old fashioned way. But like if I'm, 38 by the time I want my second kid and I'm having trouble, then I'll have these eggs that are preserved at the quality of my eggs right now at 32.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a follicle was until like this pregnancy with Natalie.
Yeah. Because you guys had 2 follicles, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that what they said? There was like 2 follicles or 2 that were developing into eggs, because that's how you got, is that how you guys got twins?
Yeah. Something like that. Natalie would be better at answering that question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when because we had to see a specialist because of the miscarriages and just kind of doing a bunch of like analysis, mostly on Natalie, but a little bit on me. And then obviously all the ultrasounds she did, I remember her doctor talking about how many follicles she had and things like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what that was as it relates to like eggs, but
I'm so happy to share about it, and I'm glad I'm posting about it, because I wish I knew more. Like I wish I had done this 2 years ago, because I think I would have had even more. and be even better quality and things like that. And I'm like, everyone should do it. Like there's very little downside other than the fact that it is an expensive process.
Yeah, I appreciate that you're sharing it too, because we were talking about this where I feel like a lot of people know about like insemination, or they assume that the process of freezing your eggs is that process, but it's like they're two different. I mean, they go hand in hand, right? But like the journey of freezing their eggs is its own thing as well.
100%. And I got a few DMs from mostly like guys that thought I was like getting pregnant. I think that they were like, congrats, and I couldn't tell if they thought like that I was going straight from this to like having a baby on my own, which I could do eventually, but I'm not. I'm freezing. But I think there's just so much confusion because when people go through this process, a lot of times they're going straight into like creating a baby from it.
Yeah. It really does just go to show how limited of an understanding most people have on like reproductive health.
Right.
Like my sister is literally an OBGYN, and the way I don't know anything at all.
There's
and
so
it's
much
like,
to learn.
There's so much to learn, and there's so much to it, especially like as women. It's like you're taught like in basic sex ed as a kid that there are these certain things, but then it like completely goes out the window for like an actual like adult woman's body, or like if you're like queer and you're like not, what I mean? There's like so much stuff that you just don't know, and you have to find out yourself. So I think it's really, really cool that you've
Thank you. I spent my whole 20s scared that I was going to get pregnant, not realizing that you can't get pregnant every single day of the month. Like I didn't understand that, which is so dumb. But I just was like a young 20-year-old that was like, every time I did anything, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like the first time I made out with a girl, I was.
Yeah.
Oh, because my name was Mary and my dad was a pastor.
Oh, immaculate.
I was convinced I was gonna immaculately conceive.
I mean, there was a time where I'm in high school.
I'm still not convinced I won't.
There was a time in high school, makeout sesh. I was supposed to be babysitting, threw in the Disney movie for
This is crazy.
the young
Where were the
ones.
kids?
Yeah, where were the children?
My younger siblings.
Oh.
Okay, so your own
I'm like
siblings.
17, 18. Girl from high school comes over. Second, third base. Right? That's all that happens.
Third. Good for you.
We rounded second, for a high school kid.
Yeah.
But it was enough that like afterwards, I was like,
So
I don't know.
scared.
I think she's pregnant. And by the way, there was no possible way she could be pregnant. And
Over the
I was
close
so
action.
neurotic that like I remember like counting. Like, I got my calendar out.
Oh, Nick.
And then like for the next 3 or 2 weeks, I'd like call her up and be like, "So how you feeling?
So you kept her
Any
around. Just
symptoms?
Are you feeling normal?" I was so like stare.
when was the moment you realized it wasn't an issue with her?
I don't know, like 4 months later, probably.
Okay.
You guys,
Like she's still looking hot.
literally moved to Japan, didn't have sex for a long time. And like for the first 7 months, I would take a pregnancy test because I was so scared, which nothing was even happening. I just kept convincing myself. I was like, I think I'm pregnant.
Sometimes
like, from my boyfriend before I left.
Yeah.
And I was like 7 months into living there, and I was like, is this bloating or like and I would every month pee on a test. And
You said you lived
negative.
in Japan?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
How long?
I did 2 years.
She was a Disney princess.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yes.
I knew that. Well, speaking of motherhood,
Oh, yeah.
you guys all watched the most recent episode of The Valley?
We did.
Do we want
Yes.
to talk James Charles first?
Do you want to
Bethany?
talk to James Charles first?
I think Mary has something to say.
I mean, we also have
I got
Bethany,
some
think.
reads prepared for him.
Yeah.
Table this. James Charles is popping off on customer service. This is an insane story.
I'm sorry, y'all. Like, whatever you want to say about James Charles, the video that we're all seeing is just the most example of like out of touch, like rude,
Yeah.
gross, like not knowing.
So this is sadly one of the least problematic things about James Charles.
Yeah, true.
James Charles is kind of like the beauty community's Pennywise, in that every
really-
like certain number of years he pops up from a little gutter and just like wreaks havoc
Comes back from the dead
on the
'cause he
people
thought he
of
was
Derry.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and to give the audience like context of what we're talking about, basically, we know Spirit Airlines closed in the last month, and
R.I.P.
someone was laid off by Spirit Airlines.
R.I.P.
DM'd James Charles saying like, "Hey, like I just got laid off. Like here's my GoFundMe link if you can like contribute." She DM'd it to multiple influencers. James Charles saw it, saw that she wasn't following him and like didn't engage with his TikToks, and decided to send her a video. And it's like the most atrocious, like disgusting, out of touch things that he was saying. Mary's gonna do a dramatic read. Like it's crazy.
Yes. James Charles posted this video.
He sends a video DM to this person.
Yes.
He sends a video DM and with this tone. You're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you? You think I'm just going to give you money because you lost your job? Oh my God, welcome to the real world, sweetheart.
That's literally why people give money away sometimes.
Yeah.
All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. Why? Why would I ever help you? You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. I could at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's 1 trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there's no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself, and all the other people have this. Maybe I would help then.
Maybe.
That was well done.
Only maybe he would help then?
Yeah, it's just
like, it's so, you hear it and you think it's
Yeah.
fake and you think it's AI because you're like, this is like, the things he was saying is just so delusional and so like mean.
again,
Yeah.
Pennywise of the beauty community.
Why couldn't he have just read it and moved on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Why? Sometimes you don't have to speak. And I remind myself of that all the time, although I'm on a
Do people
podcast.
have a problem with the GoFundMe movement out there? Like, what's
I
the
don't think
issue?
so. I donated to one like a week ago.
Oh, I
like,
donate. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
You know, if you don't want to, you don't have to. And if you want to, you can. It's like the
Yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
I'm also just
Free
like,
will.
she reached out to you because she's in a position of like needing help and you
Yeah.
decided to like destroy her. Like, I just
Yeah.
feel like that was unnecessary when like you could have just at least let her have her piece.
It's so rude. And it's also like, just thinking about what's happening to so many people in the world right now in the economy and like how many
Yeah.
people are going on, like
exactly.
struggling through hard times. And like, there are GoFundMes that are literally saving people's lives.
Literally.
And
yeah.
it's a way to like crowdsource from your community and just like actually have people go and help you and support you. And if you're on
Yeah.
hard times and you DM celebrities just to see, that's not a bad thing. That's like,
Shoot your
you
shot.
know, just
I
shoot
say shoot your shot. Yeah.
And
And
by
all-
the way, her
like-
GoFundMe like was really low. Like, it wasn't a large number. So
Yeah.
like he probably could have maxed it out with like a small donation. But like now
Yeah.
he's going viral. People are going after him and posting like their own videos of when they got laid off and using it as an audio to be
Mhm.
like reminder that this is a reality people face.
Yeah.
And luckily this person, like her GoFundMe link like has popped off as it should.
Mhm.
And like I think he DM'd her an apology and he also did donate now, but like
Yeah.
she posted a video being like, I'm not accepting this apology, like just because you got called out for something so crazy.
Now, listen, if you send a request to anyone and they, for whatever reason, don't reply or don't send you anything, that's also okay, right? Shoot
Yeah.
your shot. You know, a lot of people who, you know, get requests, sometimes people like, well, you know, even on the street, you know, like side of the road, sometimes there's someone asking for money. Sometimes you have a little cash on hand. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you give it away. Sometimes you don't. It's all okay. You
Yeah.
know, as long as you're doing what you can. And that's up for you to decide. It's not for anyone else to decide what you can and can't give. No one knows your situation. I was reminded of that, you know, like there was a situation that happened a few months back and Nally was like kind of wishing she got a call from a friend and we were dealing with a bit of a crisis, not a crisis, but we were like, and she was kind of wishing she'd got a call from a friend. That friend didn't call, whatever. And a couple weeks go by. They reconnect. Well, it turns out that friend at that particular time was going through their own crisis. So it's kind of like, you know, and you don't really think about it, right? When things are going on in your world, you're the center of your universe. And it's so quick to forget that everyone else has their own problems and things like that. But like, yeah, if you can give away some, you know, a few bucks, give it away. And if you ask and they don't reply, that's also okay.
Or they don't, you may not see it. Like there's so many, especially James Charles. I feel like he has a huge following.
Yeah.
But I think with this particular case, it's such a reminder. Like he was a YouTuber before he was even like 18, I think. So
Mhm.
he's really never worked a normal job.
No.
He has faced a lot of like tough stuff online. I think it's really hard to like get canceled and stuff. I know that's a horrible feeling, but
He's done some pretty bad stuff.
for sure, that's the thing is I'm
Bye,
like,
sister.
yeah, totally. But I think it just shows like how out of touch some people like in entertainment can be when it comes to understanding how normal everyday people live and
Yeah.
struggle.
Mhm.
Like it's just so I think he probably is truly unaware to understand like how
He had to be.
people
Well,
because
Yeah.
people
yeah.
are seriously struggling and
Well, it's literally like, I'm sorry that people online got mad at you and
Yeah.
said some awful, disgusting things about you after you actively like did shitty things to other people and you got
Right.
your comeuppance. Sorry, buddy, but you know, you did get to cry about it in your like giant house and with your money that you made off of your YouTube AdSense and
Right.
stuff. So it's just like, yeah, this
wiping
they're-
your tears with hundreds.
yeah, and it's like, girl,
Literally.
give me a break.
Yeah.
You're really like going to victimize yourself
He's
after
also-
like going after someone that literally lost their job. Like,
He's also a rage baiter, but I'm just like, this is not what you're not rage baiting someone's like hurt. Like this, I just feel like,
No.
why did we choose this? Like, where was your publicist? Obviously, he was not.
I
running
very
that by
much
his
doubt he
publicist.
ran that by his publicist.
No, not at all.
no.
He didn't think that sending that video to the person was going to then be posted and go viral.
It's
Like,
also
Right.
just like, don't be dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that?
it's just crazy. You hear it and you're literally like, what?
Probably because, like, you know, I think probably deep down he's probably not. You know, there's good people, there's bad people, there's a lot of people in between. Most of people are good people who sometimes do bad things and have to like be accountable and learn and apologize and blah. And then there's people who just like at their core aren't great.
A little rotten.
Mm-hmm.
In the celebrity breakup news, sadly, Pete Davidson and his girlfriend, also the mother of his child, Elsie Hewitt, they broke up. But then it reminded me of the episode of The Valley. Everyone's been talking about Danny Darko this episode or these past couple episodes. And I honestly, as someone who's wanted, like, I've gotten, Danny seemed like one of the decent guys on The Valley.
Mm-hmm.
I know last season it was always like Danny Darko, but it never really landed for me, where it was just like, I don't know. All we got was like a couple times he was drunk. Not that like is acceptable to like get carried away, but it seemed like they kept referring to this one moment. But now it seems like maybe there's something there. They basically went on this, they went to San Diego. They live in LA. They went to San Diego. And it seemed like Danny was like, well, we have a nanny. So like, I'm off the clock, which I was just like, I couldn't process that. Like, I just don't operate that way. And then I was thinking about, you know, we're watching Summer House and we have Kyle throughout these seasons speak to his wife in a way that's inappropriate and unacceptable. You know, the fuck you fucking bitch, you know, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Obviously, no excuse for that. But if we have to pick between two horrible things, I think that honestly, being an unhelpful partner to your wife or partner, if you're a man and you don't participate 50-50 and you play the like 1950s version of a man where you're just like your job is done and like you like what 9 to 5 or whatever it is, I just feel like not participating and helping your wife and like not sharing full responsibility, like not, like that scene from 2 weeks ago. Nia's eating a sandwich. Danny's on his phone. He's on his phone. He's just on his, I don't know what he's on his phone. Maybe I don't know. Didn't seem like work. And even if it was, but the way he looked at her, like as if she was interrupting his screen time, literally, while she was trying to eat a sandwich. I can honestly say I would never do that. I just would never, if
Yeah.
I see Natalie struggling, like she has my, and I'm an aloof guy. I'm in my head a lot. I am often not paying attention, but like as soon as Natalie can get my attention, which sometimes can be a struggle because in my head a little bit, once she has my attention, she has my full attention and help.
It's a nightmare, to be honest, as someone that does want to be a mom and has been around children and loves children. Like, it doesn't matter how much you love being a mom. It's like if you are in a partnership, yeah, I agree. Like, there is this like some people still live by that where they think these gender roles are like like, okay, well, it's you're the mom, so like you have to take care of it. And I'm like, that would literally be, I would rather not be a mom than be a single mom than be a mom with a husband that does not participate and help.
Yeah, unfortunately, men today are not, you are no Don Draper. And Don Draper also should not have been doing that shit in the 60s, you know? And it's just like, it's crazy that there is this thought that there's this expectation that some men have that you're just going to be served by your wife and she's also going to take care of your child. And to go back to the Danny thing really quick though, what my issue with Danny is that he's doing both of those two things, Nick. He is also speaking terribly to Nia.
Well, he didn't
when
Kyle
he's
Cook
drunk.
it, did he?
He didn't Kyle Cook
he
it,
was
but
getting
in
close.
the energy that he said, like the way
Yeah, but there's
he
a
was
huge
talking
difference.
down to her,
Yeah, but like I
It
just want
was-
to. I just
it sent a chill up my spine, man.
there is a huge difference between if all Danny did in between being incredibly helpful and very present helping with the kids is be kind of a poor sport in this.
That was a bit more than kind of a poor sport.
A
would you
major
say?
poor sport. I'm just saying, if that's all he did, then you could be like, maybe he's having a bad day, maybe whatever. That's not the same as telling your wife that she's a fucking bitch. It's not remotely close.
I think I might have a hot take on this.
What
I don't
is-
know.
what is your hot
I may
take,
have a
Suze?
hot take on this, and I could be completely off. But let me start by saying I am so partial to Nia. I love her.
She's great.
I love Nia so much, and whatever that means, I want her to have the best life, the best relationship. I just want her, like, I love her so much. I will say, like, watching that scene from the pageant where she's trying to get him ready, and she's like, "Stop talking to me this way. Stop disrespecting me," and she's like
Yeah.
cutting in like this. I was like, I was proud of her, but I almost felt like I was watching almost like a little boy who was like in his own world where he was like playing a character that he was like, I think he thought he was being funny almost. Like I was watching it and I'm like, do you think you're being funny? And like, and you're talking to her this way, like as a bit, like it almost felt like a bit. And then it's like, but he was probably drunk. So he
Yeah.
couldn't like take himself out of it. And then he was offended that Lala said something, which I was also so proud of Lala for saying
Same.
something.
I actually
Yeah.
kind of agree with you, Susie. It felt like he thought he was being funny while drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
The problem though is
I-
he's
I
too
don't-
comfortable doing that,
That's
which means
true.
he probably
Exactly.
does this
That's
outside of
true.
just that scene.
Exactly, and it's something that obviously bothers Nia. And again,
Yeah.
Susie, you're saying that
See, but
like
yeah,
Nia is just such like she's such a gentle soul. She's such
Yeah.
a kind soul. She's got 4 kids.
I know.
She's on a TV show. She's fucking taking care of Danny also. Like that man is no help, and he has the audacity as she's putting him in drag. That's supposed to be a silly evening
Yeah.
to be so just condescending and rude and having these expectations as if he is goddamn Cher sitting in a chair having hair and makeup done. Like, who do you think you are?
The drag wasn't
Danny?
that hot. Yeah.
And it's like, sorry you don't look sorry like Tom Sandoval looked hotter than you in drag. Like I don't know what you want, Danny.
No need to reference him.
What? I'll say it.
I think every happy husband who has a wife kind of secretly or unsecretly kind of feels like his partner is the best he can ever get. You know, like he couldn't do better. You know, not in a way like I don't deserve you, but in a way where it's kind of like I can't believe you're with
I
me.
bagged a baddie.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
And I think every like real happy husband has that kind of feeling. But I feel like, unfortunately, Danny doesn't seem to do a good job of showing that in a way. It's almost like, I don't know if it comes from a place of insecurity, of like not wanting to acknowledge that he landed this seemingly great partner in Nia, where a lot of people might be like, how'd you do it, man? He doesn't want to embrace the whole like, I don't know, you know, and maybe just
Yeah.
show him through like his actions, like of like not being a jerk. And again, we can pick apart the whole like, was he drinking? I don't know. Like, was he kidding? I don't know. It does seem like maybe he's like if you abuse alcohol on a regular basis where it changes your behavior, where you're someone different, where it causes like issues in your relationships, friends, romantic, like that's a problem, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the shots. It's always shots.
Which I love.
But like,
Shot girl.
but like at this stage of the game, why is Danny doing shots on camera if he knows that he goes to like a different side? I'm honestly was surprised that not that it's Nia's fault, but that she was like watching him take all those shots. And like they seem to be the couple who like we handle things behind closed doors, which I think is
I respect that.
Well,
I respect
do
the hell
too.
out of that. Like the way Lacey was like, it seemed like she was doing a scene though when she was trying to call out Jesse for being like, you know, well, you yelled at me. It's just like, well, fine. If like, don't do that in front of all the friends and use words like I was just triggered. Like you're using buzzwords with your partner in front of his
Yeah.
friends to pick a fight. And it kind of feels like you're doing a scene. And even if you're not doing a scene, it was like, I don't know how that's like, and not to defend the action of Jesse. It's just more like, that's not how you go about like creating a safe space for you and your partner to like work through like your issues. And like, we all have done or said things that like made our partner feel unappreciated. We've all had to been like, hey, don't talk to me that way. You're like, it's not me you're mad at, you know? And A lot of times it's like, you're right, I'm sorry, you know. But I guess all that aside, there's a million different like, oh, well, maybe this happened or maybe that happened. When it comes to watching Danny be on his phone and look at his wife in disgust while like she's asking for help with the kids, there's no middle ground for me. There's no like, how could you, like, dude, I'm just like, all the excuses we want to make for reality TV stars. Oh, maybe it was editing. Maybe something's taken out of context. Blah 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 blah. I'm just like, there's no world where I would have allowed that to be the case or the context in which something was filmed. And I'm sorry, like, if you're just there were too many moments on that day where Danny kept referencing like, well, we have a nanny. I just want to have fun with my wife. I mean, have fun with your wife, like your kid. I mean, I understand. And listen, they have 4 under 4. I don't know what it's like yet. I'm sure our world will change drastically when the twins show up. That all being said, like, you're taking care of your kid. It's part of your family. Like, it doesn't have to stop you from having fun. And the moment you look at your kid as like the thing that stops you from having fun, I don't know. It's just like, you know, for example, like Nia, right? She wants to have fun with Danny. She wants to have fun just as much as Danny has fun. But like, you know what? Sometimes the kids need you. You know, sometimes things happen and she doesn't throw a fit. She's not stomping her feet. She's not like, Danny is literally being like, you know what? I'm going to have fun either way. So either Nia or a nanny can like, they can deal with it, but I'm not. And I just can't believe I'm watching that on this television show. Like, I just can't believe that Danny wouldn't want to like be thought of as a guy who shows up for his family and is always ready to say, yes, I can help. I just like, it's crazy to me.
We don't know that he thinks of his children that way, though, right? So we're
What do
just
you mean?
kind of extrapolating.
Thinks of
like
what way?
we don't know that he's saying like his kids are. This isn't me defending him. I'm just saying like we don't know that he's looking at his kids as like a barrier to him having fun. But we're just seeing the way he treats Nia.
In that episode, he just
pulling
kept
that.
talking about how like, you know, this was the weekend to have fun with his wife. Why did we get a nanny if she's not going to be the one like taking, you know, like we are lucky enough to afford some help when it comes to childcare. We also have like our parents who are incredibly helpful. But for us, that has just never been a like something that allow, you know, we don't check out. You know, we're still there.
Yeah.
They're there to help. It's like it's a help, it's another hand. But like we're never like, obviously when we're recording the podcast and we can't like attend to like, or we're not there and we have a thing, but when we're around and we're here, sometimes we still have some extra set of hands, and that's very helpful. But like, we're still the parents. We're still there. We're still in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dad's still there. It's never like, I'm not here, talk to the nanny or talk to mom. And I guess that was that mentality that he kept kind of echoing and parroting throughout the episode that like, seems to me that like he has this mindset where it's just like, it was almost like, hey, Nia, we got a nanny, so figure out how to use the nanny. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It was never, it just, I just think that's horrendous. I can't fathom that type of behavior.
I feel like they were on just different pages of like what fun was too. You know, like she was like, like she was so cute and she's like, she's like, stop talking to me like that. Like I'm doing it and da 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 da. And she's like, she's just trying to have like wholesome fun, where I feel like he was like playing this character where I was like, you guys are having 2 different kinds of fun, and like it's definitely like, not fun for Nia.
Yeah, she's like, I just want to put you in makeup, and he's like, we have to win right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like,
that's
Danny.
not fun with your wife. She was literally like, I want you to connect with me.
Yeah,
literally.
She was reaching her arm out, and he just like slapped it away, is what it felt like.
I would have eliminated him.
And I just
like, you're not in my pageant.
I don't know. It just
I'm the director, and you're out.
You're
hey,
out.
Danny, Abby Lee Miller Dance Company, bottom of the pyramid.
Bottom.
You're cut for your behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I acknowledge that, Nick,
Yeah.
too. Where it's like this show is already kind of like used Danny as like a storyline, and you would think he would countercorrect this season
He's
and
leaning
approach
in.
it differently.
Rise to the occasion.
Maybe that's just who he is.
I also just mean in culture in general. I think there's enough of like families and couples that like don't have this kind of Don Draper mentality, who share in the responsibility of being parents. And
look at Luke on the Valley.
Yeah.
Like even with all of his issues with Kristen, which trust I have takes on, but like
I mean, postpartum, like we were fortunate enough not to deal with what they're dealing with, and I just think it seems like a very difficult thing for
both,
both parties.
Heavy.
Obviously,
but at least Luke is like trying.
He is trying.
You know, he
I
might
give
not
him a
be-
lot of credit.
Yeah.
I think that I think that I can tell it's heavy. That whole situation, I'm like, wow, this is very heavy. And they probably brought things from before into the postpartum era as well. And I'm like, wow, this is like a lot. But I do give him credit because I think he wants to show up, and I think he feels like nothing he's doing is right. And I think that's probably very common for people that are dealing with like postpartum relationships.
Yeah. I did think it was crazy though that he sent Kristen home and then went back
alone.
to the party. That was crazy.
Me too.
That was crazy.
Just go home.
100%.
Just go home, man.
That was crazy.
I was like, what are you doing?
Luke
Go
just
home with
seems-
her.
I think the difference between Luke and Danny to me of like two guys doing annoying things, right?
Yeah.
To their wives that two guys doing annoying things to their partners.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is Luke does seem to genuinely love Kristen and is doing his best and just not really doing it in the best way.
Yeah.
But he does have good intentions and a good heart about it. And at least how Danny is presenting, not going to assume to know what's in his heart or whatnot, but he's being selfish. He's being completely selfish and only thinking about how he feels in a situation.
Yeah.
And it's like, girly pop, you got 4 kids and a wife. You need to grow the fuck up.
Lala said it perfectly, where she was like, I don't need to know I don't know what's going on in your relationship, but what I'm seeing right now is enough for me to speak out against
Yeah.
it.
Like, cut the shit.
Yeah.
Is kind of how Danny's doing it. And anyway, that's just, maybe I'm being mean to Danny, but whatever.
I think I think the takeaway, like at least for me, is I think sometimes reality TV can offer reflection, not just for them, but for anybody watching, where it's like from the outside looking in, it's almost so obvious where you're like, okay, Danny, you just need to, 1, stop taking shots, probably. 2, like be a little bit more aware and sensitive and be there, really show up for Nia. But I do hope the takeaway, and I do hope that like watching this back, I want them to work out. Like I want them to be healthy. I don't want them just to fight through like misery. But I do hope he can like have some takeaways where he's like, oh yeah, I like definitely need to course correct because Nia is a queen, like literally the best.
Have
I feel
you
like
seen her?
Yeah, I know.
But you bagged a baddie.
little-
Well, but regardless of that, just regardless of what your wife looks like,
Yeah,
Just-
but it's also the inside too. It's-
show up as a man, show up as a dad, be the like you. It's a tough beat to like. Again, I don't know if there's editing. I don't know if he's leaning in, but like I would never even like lean into that aspect of not showing up as a parent, you know, and kind of leaving your partner hanging. I can't relate to that experience. It's just crazy to me. I don't know. Wild
We'll
stuff.
see. Yeah, it is wild.
You know, marriage is tough. You get at each other's, you know each other. Maybe sometimes you speak to your partner in a way that you have to apologize. It's not okay, but like there's humans. But like if you can't just want to show up for your partner and your kid in a way that's like, you know, where you have, you prioritize your own immediate needs and not even like your career goals, like big picture, like you're today, because it's Saturday and Saturday's for Danny. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wild stuff. Anyway, we do have a jam-packed episode lined up for you. Coming up later this episode, we got Chris from Perfect Match, formerly of Age of Attraction. And outside of giving women, he just met luxury purses and bags.
I'll take it.
Same.
Himself names as love bombing. I just like, again, he's kind of giving a little West Wilson. He's very endearing. He's very charming. He's very cute. He's a bit of a fast talker. Everyone loves him. But he does this thing where he's like falling in love with everyone and not in a way where he's joking. I don't know. We'll get into that. We have Chris with us. But now, up next, we have the iconic Cynthia Bailey joining us to talk about all things Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, so this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You guys know we talk a lot about relationships, anxiety, communication, overthinking. Self-awareness is great, but eventually you have to actually work on yourself. This is so true. Sometimes we just use self-awareness as an excuse for why we are the way that we are, but sometimes you have to work it out with a good therapist, and BetterHelp is helping you connect with therapy like never before. They help alleviate all those pain points in therapy, whether it's cost, inconvenience, or just plain old finding it. The therapist that's right for you. They make that so much easier. They're working with over 30,000 therapists nationwide to help ensure that you can connect with therapists that you love, and you can switch therapists for free as much as you want until that happens. They've served over 6 million people globally. Whatever is weighing you down, stress at work, relationship problems, money problems, or just maybe general worries. You know, sometimes I just worry. Sometimes you just have to talk about it. And BetterHelp is helping people like never before. It's incredibly convenient. All you need is a device to connect. BetterHelp is now accepting insurance in many states with average copays around $23 for eligible members. So chances are that if you have health insurance, you can have your therapy covered through BetterHelp. So just go to BetterHelp.com, answer a few questions about the type of therapy you are looking for, and they'll help connect you with a therapist in no time. Also look in to see if your insurance take BetterHelp. Chances are it does. BetterHelp is in network with major health plans like United Healthcare, Cigna, Aetna, and more, with average copays around $23 for eligible members. Fill out the questionnaire and check out your coverage today at BetterHelp.com/VIALL. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/VIALL. Average copay is based on eligible members. Actual cost and coverage may vary by plan. 91% of dog parents say that their pup is basically a member of the family. Include Allie and I in that 91%. Well, Ollie is making sure that you can put your actions where your words are. Because if you feed your family good quality food that's good for them and that they love, Ollie is helping pet parents out there feed your dogs high quality dog food that they will love and they will feel good about. Ollie meals are developed by real chefs and backed by vet nutritionists. So it's not just dog food, it's high quality, intentional nutrition for your pup. Everything comes tailored to your dog. Meals are perfectly portioned and even sent in a pup container. So feeding is simple and organized. Through their app, you can also upload photos and get insights from vets on things like weight, digestion, teeth, and coat. It's just an easy way to stay in tune with your dog's health over time. Since switching to Ollie, it's obvious how excited Jeff and Steve are to eat all the time. They absolutely love it. And I like the things that make my dogs happy and feel good, and their energy is up. They're feeling great, and I can't say enough great things about Ollie. Get ready for both you and your pup to become obsessed. Head to ollie.com/VIALL. Tell them about your dog and use our code VIALL to get 70% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer an obsession guarantee. If you're not completely obsessed, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/VIALL and enter code VIALL to get 70% off your first box. Ollie, feed the obsession. Cynthia, welcome back to the show.
Hi. Hi, family.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm doing good.
Do you like after each episode, or what's your like decompress process? Do you watch? Are you online? Or you are just like completely disconnected from it?
Okay, so we get screeners. So I usually watch it on Friday. And then on Sunday night, I am, aware, obviously, to everyone, the world's going to watch it. And then as soon as it goes off, I go right to social media to see everyone's thoughts.
Oh, you do? Wow. But you play,
yeah.
you play in the chaos.
Oh, no, for sure. Because it's like, when you're in it and you're living it and it's your reality, it's always interesting to see what everyone else thought happened in the episode.
I got a question for you. What offends you the most as a host of a party? Pop off, by the way, great party.
Thank you.
What offends you the most? Someone showing up when the party's over, or someone starting a fight at your party that kind of cannibalizes the vibe of the whole party?
Wow, that's a good question. Okay, I don't like either, to be honest, but at the same time, I think the worst is starting a fight. Like in real life, is starting a fight. On reality TV, fights kind of are good because that means you're seeing stays. But in real life, I would be pissed. But I'd rather someone just not come if they're going to be super late, to be honest.
Well, and I appreciate you recognizing the TV element of it. That being said, like, how does Drew show up that late? Like she did she not know? Does she not care? Which one is it more of?
Okay, so there's a lot of backstory to that. Number one, I don't think Drew set out to be intentionally late.
Okay.
Drew has always been super supportive of all of my events. She always shows up for me. She always supports me. To be completely honest, because if you guys think back in the episode, when it was time to start getting dressed, Shamia called a meeting. So one of the reasons why I was super quiet and kind of stressed out, because the entire time Shamia's meeting was going on, I knew it was eating into our time to get ready. And, with that said, I knew, it just takes some women longer than others. And to be completely transparent, because I'd love to just break the fourth wall at this point, we were having some glam issues. Glam was doubling up, trying to do the girls. They had a theme. It wasn't like they could throw on a baseball cap and come to the event. It was a whole Dallas Dynasty theme. So it just took some time. And Drew's glam was held up actually in my room for a little bit, because I was filming something else. And it's a whole thing. She didn't intentionally try to be late, and she has apologized for it, which I'm totally fine with.
Okay. So you guys are cool.
I'm totally fine.
So where do you land on the K Michelle side of things?
In terms of what?
Well, what she's upset about. Like she thinks that all
the
people,
plot.
Yeah. Do you believe that there's a plot, or do you think it's more in her head?
Well, I'm going to always validate how she feels. She obviously can, feel how she wants to feel. I would never invalidate that. However, the one thing I can say is I'm not a part of any kind of plot or scheme as it relates to K Michelle. I love Kay on this show. I was excited for her to be a part of this cast. I still think, we're only, 7 episodes in? Like, you guys are still going to see a lot of Kay. We still have a lot of episodes to go. But at this point, I just was concerned, and we all were concerned that she was upset. And we're just, we were just trying to figure out what is the plot? Like, what is it that she's been told that we don't know about? All I know is I'm not a part of it, for sure.
Do you have speculation on who told K Michelle this? Because I know everybody was thinking Shamia might have had a part.
No, I don't know. I don't know where she got the information from. And I think Kay said in the scene that it wasn't Shamia. So I honestly don't know.
What about like the little like comments? Like on one side, like when you bring oysters out, like there's always like a dirty joke about private parts, sometimes. On the flip side, if you're K Michelle,
is there always a dirty joke about private parts?
No, with oysters. I think sometimes with oysters, there's always some kind of connection between that and the
aphrodisiac, right? I feel like it's
sure.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
That part. Yeah.
Okay, but maybe I'm crazy. But like, I guess what I'm saying is it's more like if I'm Kay and I'm in my head about this, and I feel like like it would seem like maybe they are making comments at me referencing this thing, or do you think it's just a projection of her insecurities?
Well, I think number one, the people that she's talking about would have to know the situation. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have different traumas that we've been through, and everyone doesn't know what my traumas are or what my triggers are. What I can tell you is if I go to dinner and oysters is on the menu, I'm going to order them. I love oysters. So with that said, I didn't read into any of it, to be honest. Like, this is a reality show. We act silly. We have fun. We're just playing around. It is what it is. I didn't know until watching it back that Kay was even upset. I couldn't even tell in the moment because we were just eating, and, I was dealing with Pinky in the bathroom. She drank too much tequila. It was a lot of moving parts. So it wasn't like, had she said something, and I really honestly wish she had said in that moment, guys, I'm a little triggered right now. I had a horrible situation in the past where, someone that I was seeing said some horrible lies about me or whatever. And that could have really opened up a whole conversation for the table, because guess what? Like, we all have vaginas. We all have had different experiences. And I think that could have been a moment where we could have actually connected and kind of loved on Kay and really just moved on. But now you guys got to wait until next week to kind of see how this whole thing plays out.
I have a question about your theme. Were you the one that came up with the Dallas Dynasty?
Yes.
What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, the inspiration behind the theme was my tequila commissario. One of our biggest markets here is Dallas. So when I think about Dallas, I think big hair. I think about the TV show. I think about diamonds. I just think about this like whole Dallas lifestyle. And I grew up watching Dynasty and Dallas. So I was like, you know what? Let's have some fun. And I just love a theme anyway. So let's get the girls all done up and do like a whole thing. Let's do our big one. And for me, I was doing my big one. So it was like kind of go big or go home, So
Yeah.
that's how I came up with the theme.
I love the part when you brought the jewelers in, the frost, the ladies, as they say.
Yes.
The
Yes.
jeweler was like, "Oh, this is $100,000," and Phaedra was like, "Oh, that's not that bad." Was that Phaedra being the professional TV maker that she is, and like the great one-liner, or is that really not that big of a deal to Phaedra?
Probably both.
Yeah.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Phaedra's funny. And, this is Atlanta. These girls live very, very well. And, they do have a very expensive lifestyle. So maybe $100,000 necklace is not a big deal for Phaedra. But I can tell you, I was like clasping mine the whole night. Like, is this thing still on my neck? Because I was very relieved to actually return it to him at the end, because it was like
Yeah.
security and we had to
Could've
go
been
back and
Ocean's 8
return
after this.
I was going to say
Right.
Ocean's 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cynthia, going back to Kay and Portia, why do you think Kay has felt so unsupported by Portia, given that Portia brought her into the group?
I don't know. And I'm looking forward to us getting more to the bottom of that, as the episodes go on. Are you guys kind of seeing how all of that plays out? But I will say that from what I have seen, Portia first of all, I know she was very excited for Kay to come on the show, as
Mhm.
well as I was. And, I've seen her really make a real effort to be friends with Kay. Like, she was very excited to bring Kay into the circle. So I don't know where it kind of went left, but it's unfortunate because I have known Portia for a really long time, and I'm just really getting to know Kay. And if Portia doesn't want to deal with you, she's just not going to deal with you. So if I feel like if she's making an effort to show you love and give you love and support, like even when, Kay started crying, we were all like sitting
Yeah.
there with her. Portia was like, who is it? Even if it's me, tell me, what can I do? I want to address it, whatever. Like, Portia was really overextending herself and trying to, help Kay get to the bottom of it, or just, we were all loving on her. We obviously want, we got a lot of drama in this group, but at the same time, it is still a sisterhood.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if somebody breaks down crying, you're like, wait a minute, like, we don't want that. We don't want anyone to be really upset and hurt about anything.
Yeah, I do really like Kay's perspective that she brings to the group of being like, why are we breaking each other
Yes.
down when we could like be coming together?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And, it's for someone who's been a part of it for so long, I've seen it all. So I guess I'm a little more numb to the situation, and I really know and understand how this group, this friend dynamic, this formula works for Housewives of Atlanta. And it's always like a bunch of ups and downs and twists and turns and everything. And I think what I try to do, because I can only speak for myself, is when I do have an issue with someone, as you guys saw, I did, have an issue with Shmi and Kelly, and then I had a little bit of an issue with Pinky. I'm okay to have the conversation and get to the other side and apologize if and when I need to. I don't have a problem doing that.
Mhm.
Can we talk about the accommodations? Because I felt like you had it prepared and ready, and they
It
came
looked like
in
a
and-
beautiful house.
Yeah. If there's one thing we know about you, it's that you take pride in your accommodations and you do it well.
Oh, yeah. The house. Okay, first of all, let me just give a shout out to the owner of the house. The house was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. But like most houses, for these cast trips, they don't have 12 bedrooms in the actual house. It's like guest house and pool houses and all that stuff. So somebody always has to get like, maybe a lesser room. Now, the problem is, because I only get the good room if it's my trip. Nobody's like setting me up in the main room. So, and I may or may not be in the main house. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the host and where I'm at with the host, or just what the host wants to do. So, my issue, and this is where I completely agree and understand why Shamia and Kelly was upset. If they didn't feel like the room was clean, even if it just wasn't clean to their standards, I received that. And I was definitely trying to rectify it in a timely manner on my end. Now, here's the thing. We're shooting a whole show. It's not like we can shut down production and clean the room. You know what I mean? So we're still filming, and I'm checking in. Like, did they get their room together? Did they clean the rooms? Like, yeah, they're working on it. They're dealing with here. We need you to be in the scene over here. So unless I stopped and went to clean the room myself, I was being told that it was being taken care of. So every time I saw them, I kept thinking that we had moved past it. And then my issue was once I realized, they were still upset, I'm thinking, oh, so this has been rectified. I just felt like their issue was valid if that was how they felt. Where I had an issue was, why do we keep dragging it on a business trip? Like, give me that little bit of grace.
For
We're
sure.
not even in the room at this point. We're like out filming and doing all kind of things. So I just wish that they had given me a little bit more grace in that moment to say, hey, we're not trying to make this, we're not trying to ruin your trip at this point. We just want this rectified and we could just move on. And we do end up moving on. Like what you guys didn't see was, after the back and forth with Shamia and I, we were laughing and having a good time. And, I like twerked on Shamia, her favorite thing. And, we like twerked and made up. You know how you hug and made up? We twerked and made up. It was good.
So do you think they were overreacting prior to the makeup? Like, do you think it was doing too much?
Again, I'm not invalidating their feelings. I just think it drug on longer than it had to, especially when we kind of know the deal. I'm like in situations like this all the time. And my whole thing is A, I'm at work. B, this is someone's business trip. C, as long as it's taken care of, like, I don't want it to stop, like, interfere with me having a good time on the trip. Like, I felt like at one point, I'm like, if you guys aren't having fun at this point, like, I don't know what to do. Like, why are you guys here? It just feels like, like we just keep going back to this and I keep being told that it's rectified. And so, obviously.
Say to move on.
Yeah. So I just felt like I wouldn't have drug it that long. I just would have been like, okay, let me just work this out. And, it just, to each his own.
Who started the rumor that Phaedra eats dead people?
You know what? It came from Pinky. That was the first time I heard it. I have no idea where Pinky got it from, though.
Was that in response to someone accusing her that she eats meat?
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know, because I felt like I heard about Phaedra eating dead people a little earlier on. Before it was revealed, allegedly, that Pinky was eating meat.
Like, no one believes that rumor, right? Or we're not...
Yeah, a cannibal? What do you call people that eat meat? A cannibal, right? Yeah, well, I think cannibals eat live people. They don't eat dead people, right?
Well,
I think they eat all of the above, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think typically once you eat a person, they're dead.
Well, no, I mean, you could chew a finger off and their kids still be living.
I don't know. Okay, so if we're going Hannibal Lecter rules, right? he was starting when they were alive, but they ended up dead and he still finished them. So I think the cannibalism is really just the human flesh of it all.
Right.
Right.
I do not believe that Phaedra eats dead people, and Pinky has made it very clear that she does not eat meat. Trust me, when we were on my trip in Dallas, that was one of the issues that we were having, that
I was gonna say,
she didn't feel like there was enough vegan options on the menu, which I am here to say, she ended up ordering fries, but there were definitely some other vegan options, salads, and all kind of stuff on the menu. So, but here's the thing with vegans, and I love vegans. My boyfriend is like pretty much a vegan at this point. I have tons of vegan friends, and usually if we go to dinner, like, they already know they're gonna have to, like, kind of try to figure it out, because this is a lifestyle choice that they have chosen for themselves, and sometimes they just don't have, most times they just don't have as many options as someone who's not vegan. So
Right.
So do you see Pinky's perspective, or do you think, like, was there a discussion prior to going to the restaurant if Pinky could eat there?
I was told by production that there was all kind of food options, but we're in Texas, so I knew that
More meat,
like there was going to be a lot of meat around.
Yeah.
But then what the whole vegan thing, like, I don't know, like, some vegans, they don't actually want to see people eat meat either. You know what I mean? Because they don't eat it. But I don't know. I mean, it depends. It depends on how deep you go with your veganism. Yeah, is that a word? Veganism.
Veganism. Yeah.
Who did you warm up to faster, or who are you closest with now, K. Michelle or Pinky?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I actually have a great relationship with both of them, to be honest. Like, they're two very different people. I love them both. I love them both as part of this cast. I think they bring two very different things to the show. I love the fresh energy that they bring. Like, right now, it's kind of like all over the place, and everybody's watching the show, which I'm really super excited about. But I'm at a good place with both of them. I'm still getting to know both of them. It takes me a while to really get to know people, and I don't really force myself on people. I really am just letting it organically play out. But I think they're both great.
I feel like you're a Pisces. and you're just so great at conflict resolution amongst and keeping peace between all of the women.
Am I?
I think you are.
I think 50 Cent. 50 Cynthia is great at conflict resolution.
Okay, yeah, you're right about that.
Once I get pissed off, then it's a whole other thing. But I do try until I have to tap into my little alter ego.
Well, it's more like the 50 Cent's good at the conflict, and the Cynthia Bailey is good at
comes
the resolution.
in for resolution.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The ultimate housewives duo.
It's a collaborative effort. For
Well,
sure.
in the name of the collaborative effort between 50 Cent and Cynthia Bailey, what do you think is your advice to housewives on the perfect amount of conflict and then resolution?
I think it's totally fine to disagree about things or go back and forth about things. I think that's normal in a group of women. However, I do think it's good to actually agree to disagree and not drag it too long and just get on the other side of it. Like, I'm me. I, believe what I believe and I feel how I feel. And I don't expect everyone to feel and believe the same thing that I feel and believe. Like it just doesn't, that doesn't exist. But again, one of the things that I learned was to try not to stay in my feelings too long. And that was very hard for me because when I get mad, I'm like, I just really don't want to be around you anymore or really have to deal with you. But on a reality show, something happens and then you're eating a crab cake next to them in the next 20 minutes, 20 minutes after. So, or having a margarita with them. So it just doesn't, you kind of have to understand that it's good to try to be able to move on. I don't even think the fans like when we stay mad too long because they're like, all right, girl, get over it. We're like, wait a minute, it's only been one episode I was mad. Dang, can I be mad at this girl for at least 2 episodes? They're like, girl, we're over it already. It was not that deep. You know what I mean?
I feel like everyone's out of tune when you're in conflict, Cynthia, because you're usually the voice of reason.
Well, I try, and I do choose peace. I choose peace. I don't always get peace. And I will say, and I think you guys would agree, I don't really go into anything trying to have conflict. I really, really don't.
No.
I'm more of a responder to smoke. I'm not really coming in it's not like the cast is looking at me like, oh, Lord, here comes Cynthia. We know it's about to be some smoke now. She's about to come in and turn it up. That's not my role. That's not who I am in real life. I like trying to be the mediator. I like trying to have real conversations and just get to the other side of it. I don't want any smoke, but if you bring me some smoke, then we gonna smoke.
There we go. Why do you think there's so many rumors in this group about women sleeping with other people's husbands?
I don't know. It seems to be super heavy for Atlanta, right? And I feel like it's every season.
Do you think there's some stuff going on there, or do you think it's something in this group, or that's the mud they like to throw because of the damage it can do?
Yeah.
And I can't help but wonder if do you think there are, where there's smoke there's fire, so to speak, or do you think it's just in the heat of the moment saying things that maybe you regret?
I don't know why the whole sleeping with the married man thing continuously comes up on Atlanta. It's I really honestly don't. And I don't even know what's really true and what's not really true when it comes to that stuff. I do think that sometimes when you're in a friend circle like this and you have different women and different personalities on the show, I think that when you're in a fight with someone, I think some people are just more comfortable just throwing out anything they can. And I'm not saying that some of the accusations are not true. What I am saying is I definitely know that, I've definitely been in this friend circle a long time, and a lot of the women are not beneath lying as well. So it could just go either way. So it could be true. It could be a lie. I've seen people get caught in lies, and I've seen people be, caught in a situation where it was their truth.
Well, speaking of this, and I will preface this with saying I love Kelly, but do you think Kelly is kind of being a mean girl towards Portia's efforts to fix what she brought up? And I'm referencing the roses and even after that.
I think that, first of all, I don't think what's going on with Kelly and Portia is beyond repair. I mean, some horrible things have been said on both sides, and it's just where they are. I think that, they've just taken it to hell at this point. So now when they get tired of being in hell, I think that there's a conversation that can be had for sure. I do think it's workoutable for sure. But I think that Kelly, I felt like Portia Sending the Flowers was kind of an olive branch,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think Kelly was ready. Like, I don't think she is interested in trying to fix it right now. I think she just needs more time for whatever reason. And that's her choice.
Yeah.
Why do you think everyone is so obsessed with Black? It seems like he gets so much attention.
I don't know. That would have to be a question. Like, that whole conversation is really between Drew and K. Michelle.
Yeah.
I don't know Black. I've met him on the 5-hour Zoom call. So
my
that
God.
was happening at Portia's dinner.
Mhm.
And he seemed like a nice guy. I know he's a successful business person. He was, I don't know. I really can't really answer that because I've never met the man before, but he seems like a likable person. So I don't know.
That FaceTime dinner thing was crazy.
I know, right? Well, she said bring a date. She didn't say it couldn't be a Zoom date.
I respect
It's
it.
true. And you had your man on your Zoom date.
Well, no, he wasn't there for
in
the
the
whole
beginning.
time. He just said
he was
hi.
there in the beginning.
No, that's the thing. It's the whole time, just sitting there. It's like,
Yeah, he was there the entire time with her.
No, that was a different kind of commitment. Prince basically was like, "Hey,
He
let
said,
me say hi to
"Hey."
everyone," and I'm out. Like, he was in, and he was in another country. He was in he was in the Netherlands, so
Mhm.
he had a very valid excuse not to be there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have been.
I have a quick final question. Who won the duel? Angela or Pinky?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to give it to Angela because she just kept her cool, stayed in her seat. Just was so effortless with, like, she's just so smooth with her shade. You know what I mean?
So
One of my prayers every time I film is like, Lord, please let me never get into it with Angela Oakley because she will read me under the table because I'm not that quick. And
She's so
like,
quick.
I need some time to kind of like for my comebacks. However, Pinky did not go down easily. She did
No,
not
she did
go
not.
down without a fight.
She sat
did
back
not.
down.
I felt like she did. She sat back down. She got back up. And she sat back down again.
Nevertheless, she persisted.
Yeah, but Pinky was a good sparring partner. Pinky
Yeah.
did her thing. I just felt like, the smoother one won because if Angela was sweating, we never saw, when
True.
you're playing a game like that, when you're going back and forth, it's like, even if you are sweaty, you never let them see you
Her
sweat.
fan wasn't
and I
even
felt
on.
like, for someone who has a whole fan line, I never saw that woman sweat, okay?
Do you think Angela is more comfortable with the group in her sophomore season?
Oh, yeah. I think Angela is very comfortable with herself. And I think she's a great addition to the show. And I feel like Angela, what I love about Angela is the kind of person, she sits back and she observes a lot. Like, I know you guys see her like reading people all the time, but she's not really like a super talkative person. Like, she takes in everything. So when she does have something to say, I'm always listening because I'm kind of all over the place in the scene. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? Da, 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 da. I'm not always the most observant, and everything goes over my head. Like the whole oyster thing, like whatever. Like, I'm always like, wait, what? What happened? Who said what? But Angela's like, laser focused on everything that everyone says. And to her point too, to her credit, she remembers stuff that was said. Like, literally, when the scene is over, I literally forget everything that happened in the scene. So when I'm doing my interviews, a lot of times they're like, so when you said this in the scene, whatever, I was like, what? I said, what? What happened? And then they would literally have to like tell me what happened in the scene. I'd be like, oh shit, I did say that. Okay, all right, well, let me address that. But I am like, girl, as soon as we wrap up, I completely forget everything.
Yeah.
Which is not useful. Because at the reunion, which is coming up, we're getting ready to shoot that in a couple of weeks. We have to relive all this stuff. And, when I'm responding to certain things, if I forget like some of the main things that happened when I was going back and forth with someone, or just something that happened to someone else and I'm chiming in on, I'm like, I have to really kind of know my facts a little bit more because I can't defend something or even defend myself if I don't remember what the hell happened. So, yeah.
What is the main energy you're bringing into this reunion? I
always try to bring love and light, but, I definitely have, I'm definitely locked and loaded. if I need it.
Oh,
as
so
well.
you will be
Okay.
bringing smoke.
You have the
Well,
smoke.
no,
You got the smoke in a bottle.
Well, I'm just saying this. Again, I am completely fine with having conversations for the most part. I already know what happens in the season. I really don't have a real issue with anyone. However, I've had disagreements. I've definitely been pulled into things where I've had strong opinions about it. So, if I need to, step up, then I'm fine with doing that. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is what it is. Like, it's good to be locked and loaded at the reunion than not be. Now, if I don't have to use anything, if I don't have to, shoot any shots or whatever, then great. I'll just take my lock and loaded self back to Lake Bailey after. But it's good to be prepared because I don't know what's coming my way. I ended up being a lot more, as a friend of the show, I actually ended up being a lot more involved in the season that I even had planned to. Like, I was just excited that I got a chance to do the girls trip for Tequila Commissario. Shout out to Adrienne Malouf and her family for bringing me into that, and my partner JC as well. But I just thought okay, I'll be in it a little bit, but I didn't really think I was going to have any real back and forth. So
You opened the whole season.
I did.
I think they just give you your damn peach.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll see. I mean, I never say never.
Segue a little bit. Cynthia, have you ever met Bethany Frankel?
You know what? I don't know that I've actually met Bethany. I feel like I must have been around her at some point. We have so many friends in common, but I don't think I've ever really spent any real time where I could say we ever had any real conversation.
Have you seen the
for sure.
latest online drama that she's a part of?
Oh, I saw something about some shoes that she didn't tag or something.
Something like that. Justin, can you explain it for our audience? It's actually, I'm kind of Team Bethany.
Well, I was going to ask Cynthia, do you know Dina Manzo?
Yeah, I do.
So what happened is Dina Manzo's daughter has a clothing brand, and she sent shoes to Bethany a couple months ago. And Bethany has posted videos and photos in these shoes, but never tagged the brand until recently. And she tagged a dupe instead with an affiliate link. So she didn't even tag Dina's daughter's brand. So basically, Dina's daughter called her out, I guess is the way to say it, and just said I looked up to you. I sent these to you because you're an entrepreneur. You've been on Shark Tank. And she just feels like she's been duped because they never promoted the brand. And then basically Bethany clapped back and was like, well, I think this is a good business learning experience. Or what
did Bethany say in her response?
She just says I don't usually respond to things, but I think there's a business lesson here.
But what was the business lesson?
I think the gist of it was
don't send celebrities free stuff.
Or once it's in my hands, you don't get a say in what I do with it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But what's the lesson?
If you're sending product to an influencer.
Yeah. Or maybe a follow-up, because she did post the DM where she said, Bethany was like, sure. It was very brief. It wasn't oh my God, I would love to tag your product and link back. I think they just offered to send the product, and she said sure and listed an email. Where I feel the business lesson to infer from my perspective would be okay, well, if you're expecting a post or a link, then you need to go through and make sure that there's confirmation that she's going to link it back or post about it or whatever.
I feel like the business lesson from Bethany was don't expect people to
give you free promo
if you're not going to hound them on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing with that, because I get free stuff all the time. And I've also sent some of my products, my skincare and different things to celebrities. When you send any of your products to a celebrity or an influencer, there is no guarantee that they are going to post it.
Especially if it's unsolicited, right? If you're just hey, we'd love to send you product. Hope that you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, usually most people say it would be great if you could tag me in the post. If you do post it, you always are hopeful that they actually do tag you if they do wear or use the product. However, it's never a guarantee unless you have a contract with them where you're actually paying them to post and tag you and tag the company or whatever. So that's a whole different situation. But if it's just we're going to send you these shoes, it's pretty much up to Bethany to do it. But I will just say, for me, because I've been, I get sent a lot of free stuff all the time. If I actually wear something, a piece of clothing, first of all, I already forgot where I got it from half of the time. And even if it was free. a lot. So, but if the company says, hey, because a lot of times they'll take the picture if they see me in it, and then they will say what it is and then put it in and then ask me to and put it in the story to like share it. And then I'll just reshare it. Like I'd be like, oh my God, that's right. I got this shirt from this company, and I'll just reshare. Like I won't even think, like I actually have the intention to tag people, but sometimes you just forget or whatever. But if it's brought to my attention, and clearly this girl brought it to her attention in a very big way, I would have no problem saying, girl, here's your tag. Like, why do I want to go back and forth with you about that? I think that's crazy. And just a little like, like, why not? Like, what does it cost to like tag somebody for a free pair of shoes? Or especially if they do all the work for you, and you just got to repost it.
It seemed like Bethany's response was after her daughter like put her on blast online. But I agree with you. I'm sure you get sent a ton of stuff. Now I get sent a ton of stuff. Even if you have the best intentions, you often forget or lose track. Yeah. And so it's like, and so sometimes sometimes when people ask, sometimes I know, you'll just say no because you're like, I don't know what these people expect or want. I'm not sure if I need it, and sometimes you want to avoid putting yourself in that situation. And it seemed like Dina's daughter, it's almost as if like, she assumed the association between her mom and Bethany being kind of like associates, that she kind of assumed that Bethany would like do something about it. I don't know. I mean, maybe the lesson's like, don't assume. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that is a good lesson. But I do think like now, if, I get stuff from all kind of people. Now, if I'm getting someone from anyone in the Bravoverse, because I feel like a certain sisterhood with most of these people, whether I've met them or not. Yeah. And their kid is sending me something, like it's going to be a little bit more on my radar because I'm like, I probably know their mom or whatever. I've probably seen them at BravoCon. Like I feel like there is somewhat of a connection to that, as opposed to someone that is not in the Bravoverse. So I would be a little bit more like, oh, this is Dino's daughter. Oh, shit. Let me make sure I tag her stuff.
What would you do if your child started a business line of some kind and did what Dina's daughter did, and without you knowing, went out and put one of your housewife friends or associates on blast because they felt like they didn't tag their product? What would you say, if anything, to your kid?
Well, first of all, Noah wouldn't do that. She's, she wouldn't do that. That's just not how she moves.
But if she did,
well, if she did, that would be an issue for me. I wouldn't want her to do that because I'm like, now you're creating smoke with me between these people because, when it's our kids, we're parents. You're like, Nick, you already know you got little kids, but when they get older, trust and believe, we're very protective over our kids. We don't want their feelings hurt. We don't want them upset about anything, any of that stuff. So I would not even want Noelle to put herself in that position for that kind of stuff. Like if she was interested in sending anyone that I know from the Bravoverse anything, I would like literally call and be like, hey, Noelle wants to send you something from her tea line or whatever. Would you mind giving her a post or just reposting whatever it is? Like I would definitely try to like get in the middle of that a little bit to be like, and if you just don't want the stuff, then that's cool too. We just wanted to offer it.
Yeah. This is actually, we do have a quote from Bethany on what she did say. Bethany said, so playing the short game and whining and being a crybaby about something that didn't go your way in business means you're not a real business person. You have a lot to learn because I would have worn all the shoes on your site and you would have sold thousands of pairs and made hundreds of thousands of dollars, she added, before sharing that she'll be exercising her choice not to promote. Which is a very Bethany Frankel.
That is I mean, listen, not wrong, a little harsh.
I think the message, I understand what I get the message. I think the delivery is a little harsh for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, damn, Bethany, like
it's
really?
Kim Kardashian, I think you would know if you had run a business.
Yeah.
Bethany really cared. She should have called her friend, Dina, and said, if your daughter's willing, I'd love to talk to her and give her some advice.
Exactly.
And she probably could have handled that offline.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I would just think, not to cut you off, Nick, that Bethany would just be a little more sensitive with her wording because she has a young daughter. You know what I mean? Like, what if like somebody, I think Bethany would definitely feel some kind of way if she felt they were like being disrespectful to her kid. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the mom thing comes in. The mom thing comes in for me because I would be like, hey, how would I want someone to speak to my kid or respond to my kid?
How old's
Mhm.
Dina's daughter?
29.
29.
Okay. All right. Well, if a
All right,
29-year-old puts you
okay.
on
Yeah.
blast, then I guess it's fair game.
I think that's the
30.
hard part is like, I think reading between the lines to put somebody on blast like that, you're without giving them the opportunity to correct it in
Yeah.
DMs don't count because I'm sure a lot of us know like you can miss a ton of
We
DMs.
don't always see them.
We don't
We
see
don't
them,
always see the DMs.
But I think
yeah.
the action and maybe the business lesson that she's referencing, and I'm not saying it's right how Bethany handled it, but it would be like maybe going to Bethany's people, finding an email and getting in touch with somebody
Yeah.
and being like, hey, I sent these shoes. Like my mom and her are friends. I know she posted the affiliate link, but we would love to send her an affiliate link for ours. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
if she could correct it or if you do the tag and maybe Bethany can repost, like,
That's the easiest thing. I mean, I think the lesson, we're talking about the lesson. I think the lesson is for anyone that's listening to this and they send any celebrities or influencers any products is to not expect anything and just be excited when you get something because and then make it easy for that
Make it
that
easy.
influencer and just post it. If you see us wearing it, screenshot it, post that thing right away, tag it and tag us in it, and then we'll just repost it. Like 9 times out of 10, so nobody is gonna like not repost it. I mean, it's right there. All you have to do is click the button.
mhm.
Especially if like whatever it is you're sending, if
they like it and we're actually wearing it.
but more
So,
importantly, if you can't afford them not to reshare, you know, like if the cost of
Yeah.
sending it to them or making it or whatever, like don't send it, you know, because like I think that
That's
happens
true.
a lot where it's just like obviously if you have a small business, you're putting your heart and soul and sweat and tears and everything you have into it. So I understand where like that passion comes from. But yeah, it's like sometimes you kind of project that expectation on someone who's like, I didn't ask for this. Like you asked if I want it. I
Yeah.
said sure. I kind of regret
Yeah.
saying sure now. It's become work for me. You know, I didn't ask for this
Right.
type of thing. But yeah, it's a fine line. It's a fine line.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And then just to wrap it on up, even if she had like, I feel like she could have had even though she's 29, I think she could have just got some advice from her mom and just said, hey, you know what? I kind of feel some kind of way that like Bethany's wearing the shoes and, you know, she's not tagging me or whatever. What do you think I should do? Because Dina knows how this world works a little bit more. So that could have been an option. But in any case, I think what we learned is to your point, don't send anything out that you can't afford to send out or you don't feel like you're going to get any value in sending it to this person, and don't expect them to post. Like it's always great when they do, but if they don't, like I don't know if you need to put them on blast. Like there's other ways to kind of deal with it because that would make me like, you know, not want to get the shoes either. I'm like, wait a minute now, if I don't post it, I'm going to be like on TMZ the next day.
Mhm.
Like what
Yeah.
the hell, you know?
I think someone needs to say it. I think Dina's daughter is a successful businesswoman and knows how to market her goods. Because now
Because
we're
guess
all
what?
Now
talking
we're
about
talking
it.
about
About
it.
it.
I had the same thought.
Yes.
Exactly.
And they're cute shoes. I actually, matter of fact, send me a pair of them. I'll post them
There
and
you go.
tag because they're really cute
They
shoes.
are really
Mhm.
cute. They are
Mhm.
super
They
cute
are.
shoes.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Cynthia, always great to have you on. Thank you for coming. Before we let Cynthia go, just know you can listen to Cynthia on Humble Brag with her amazing co-star Crystal Minkoff every week. And if you can't get enough of that, be sure to watch Cynthia on Real Housewives of Atlanta the rest of the season. We're really enjoying this season. You women are always delivering, and you're obviously including that, Cynthia. And they really need to give you just a peach. I think it's let's just make it official. It's
Well,
like,
thank
like
you.
there's like you and like I know like Brittany Bateman. So there's some of these like friends of where they're so ingrained into the storyline. Like I don't feel like that's like a friend of type of role where it's like the pop in pop out where like they kind of are there. I don't know. It just seems, but like I'm not the producer of these shows. What do I know?
Well, the friend role is changing. Like
It
I feel
is.
like every
Mhm.
year it definitely changes. And for me, because I've been on a part of the show for so long as a housewife, the ladies, and I give the credit to all of the ladies, they don't treat me like a friend of the show. They all treat me with love and respect. I pretty much do pretty much everything they do. Even doing a trip was like, you know, they were all happy and excited for me to like, you know, to like do my thing. So I think for me, I'm like a different kind of friend because I've been doing the housewife thing for so long. So I love my position, but you know, I'll never say never.
Okay. Always a pleasure, Cynthia.
All right. Love you guys.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Well, Nellie and I have been talking about how we've become a little bit more intentional about what we wear day to day. The seasons are changing. It's always a good time for a refresh. And we always go to Quince to stock up on new seasonal wear. Their sweatshirts, their hoodies, their t-shirts, their jackets for men are fantastic. Quince also uses 100% European linen, organic cotton, and ultra soft denim. All their fabrics are wonderfully comfortable and soft. If you maybe got a summer trip lined up and maybe you're going to some hot winter, stock up on some high quality linen pieces for you and your family. Everything is priced about 50 to 80% less than similar brands because they cut out the middleman and work directly with ethical factories. So you're really paying for quality, not the markup. I love everything that Quince does. Their selection is fantastic. It's really an absolute great one-stop shop for you and your family. I love a good jacket. So ladies, if you're trying to give a man in your life something nice, give him a nice like spring jacket. He'll really appreciate it. And Quince has a great selection for you to shop for him. Also, Quince's denim has been a standout for me. I'm particularly picky with my denim. It really needs to hold its form, and Quince fabrics do just that with their jeans. Can't say enough of great things about Quince, from their prices to the product to the whole shopping experience. If you need a refresh, look to Quince. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/VIALL for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/VIALL for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/VIALL. Well, I'm excited to share that this podcast is sponsored by The Real Real. Now, you might be thinking, why isn't Nally talking? Well, I'm going to tell you. Because whether, ladies, you are listening or maybe one of the men, maybe you're in a car on a road trip making them listen to the Viall Files. Well, men, if you are, listen up. Your lady likes designer purses. I just know that she does. They do. They all do. The cool thing about designer purses is that they keep their quality. They keep their prices, and you can find great discounts at The Real Real. So when your girl says, I want this bag, chances are you can get it used, save a bunch of money, and she'll thank you for it. It seems too good to be true. It's not. It's The Real Real. Nally is a big fan of finding those standout designer pieces that feel a little unique, and I'm a big fan of saving money. And together, we do that by experiencing The Real Real together. It makes it easy to both clean out my closet and find something new without always buying the retail. Also, while Nally never wants to sell any of her purses, you can sell a purse and make a little bit of money back as well. Maybe you have something in your closet, clean out your closet. You're like, I haven't used this, but like, oh, it's a designer bag. Well, if you don't want it, The Real Real does, and you can be giving a great gift to someone else. Maybe you got a cool party to go to. Maybe it's a nice gift you want to give your partner, and give them something maybe really, really unique. The Real Real is the most trusted name in authentic luxury resale. They add over 10,000 new items every day from brands like Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Tiffany & Company, and Cartier. The list goes on. Can't say enough of great things about The Real Real, both for her and him. Honestly, it makes the experience wonderful. You get some amazing pieces, and you can be a hero giving a gift from The Real Real. Get $25 off your first purchase when you go to therealreal.com/files. Plus, this May only, you can get an extra $200 to shop when you sell for the first time. That's therealreal.com/files, therealreal.com/files. Always great to have Cynthia join us.
I love
I'm just
her.
glad we're up and running on Atlanta. Sorry for
love
those
Atlanta.
listening. Justin and Mary have been like, it's just like we've been so busy with so many other shows. I had to have the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
I ride hard for my housewives, and Atlanta never fails.
And trust that we have been keeping up. We've been taking notes.
They're easy to catch up with. So if you haven't started watching Atlanta, you should probably.
What
do
are you
that.
doing?
No, Mary. I'm sure they're doing something.
I know. I was being a bit hyperbolic. I just think Atlanta's great TV.
I think since Ultimate Road Trip is coming, if you're not watching any Housewife season airing, you're in the wrong spot.
Exactly.
All right, we got some Perfect Match. We got Chris from Age of Attraction, also star of Perfect Match. What's Chris's last name? I only know these people by the first name, and I feel
His
like
last name is from Age of Attraction.
Chris from
Chris
Age of Attraction.
Okay, that's is that like everyone's perfect match name? Allie Luber. No, well, see, I know Allie Luber. We said this last week when we were previewing Perfect Match, but isn't Allie so great on the show?
Allie has been my absolute favorite part of Perfect Match this season. She is just such a breath of fresh air. Especially, I just love seeing her like thrive post that DJ. You know,
Post
Dating a
DJ.
DJ. Yeah, that's a pipeline.
Yeah.
Post DJ.
It's also just like Amanda Batula. Look at who you could have been.
I don't think no. Well,
Post DJ.
No, I'm gonna say it. No offense to Amanda, because even though we're down on Amanda right now, we can still offend. and we should be cognizant. Anyway, I don't think Amanda has this in her.
Yeah, I just feel like Allie has like the younger persona where she can play
Yeah.
into like the Delulu.
It's more than that.
I think she knows what she's doing.
She knows
does.
exactly
Yeah.
what she's doing.
in a funny way.
I think they're relatively the same age. Allie's in her early 30s. Amanda's in her mid 30s.
Let's
I
see.
think when I heard rumors that Allie was going to be iconic this season.
Allie's 30.
Yeah, and Amanda's 34.
Okay.
There you go.
I kind of, I don't want to say like question that, but I was like, I don't know. Like Perfect Match is a very like ostentatious kind of show. And I was like, I don't know that I really see her like leaning in. I feel like she knows exactly what she's doing.
She understood the assignment.
She understood the assignment. She's like, I'm going to be messy. And
She was going on Love Island in her head.
yeah,
Mhm.
She brought the tea.
literally.
But she wasn't like messy and like showed up just to like, because some people show up and they're just like, well, I just want to be in TV. So I'm going to be literally
Totally.
messy and sloppy. And often that requires them to be careless with other people's feelings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If we're including Amanda in this conversation, since I mean, honestly, shout out to us. We haven't really talked about Summer House once this episode.
I did bring us back into it. I apologize.
I don't.
Mary.
No apology needed.
Okay, good.
It's the most fascinating topic on
Yeah.
the internet right now.
Great to gab about.
Anyways, but like there's still more 2 reality recaps this week. Allie's the star of Perfect Match. She is
Yeah.
the literal lead
Mhm.
of this show, and a show that doesn't necessarily designate a lead, like say The Bachelor would, right? Amanda Petula could never, and I'm not even trying to say that in a snarky, disrespectful way, but like I know that Kyle and Amanda have been like they were like the main couple, so to speak, but it was never because Amanda like led. You know what I'm saying? And by like leading a scene, you weren't always this like. Now with Allie on your TV screen, when she leaves your TV screen, you're like, give me more Allie.
Yeah.
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 You're enjoying her moments. She
She has such a light presence to her that's so engaging on camera.
The only time right now Amanda has really been like carrying the show is when she's caught up in this shit. It's not because she is bringing like wit. And I'm not even trying to say that this is not like an Amanda pile-on section. This is like giving Allie her flowers. And like
Yeah.
Allie, again, was someone who was the girlfriend of a star of a show. And I use star lightly, but like, he was.
He was on a show for a long time.
He
Yeah.
was he
Yeah,
he had
for
some
sure.
iconic lines on that show as well. He was a mainstay.
He was a main character on a cast full of main characters.
Right. That's such a good way to put it.
And she, Allie, like that wasn't her role. And now that she is in this, like, it is like crazy. I mean, not crazy. It's awesome to see.
Charming.
She's so fun to watch.
Her
Charming
kissing-
is the perfect word.
Yeah.
She
Her
like
kissing
Claro's
everybody.
charm.
Yeah.
She's so wholesome, but then her being like, yeah, let's kiss.
And then she's
Okay,
like,
kiss.
yeah.
And wave at Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, are you mad at me?
Are you mad at me? Well, I think that's like to your guys' point, and Nick, to your point too, is like she's going there to have
Fun.
she's going there to have fun and be
Yeah.
messy, but in a positive way. Like she's
Yeah.
what Allie has the ability to do that not everyone on reality TV has the ability to do is to like go into a situation with like good intentions and you believe it, and she's just there to have fun and have a good time.
Yeah.
And like she's gonna be a little messy because it's TV, but she's not gonna like take it so seriously that she's gonna let it, like hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love that.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Who's everybody's number one perfect match choices? Guys
like,
and girls going around the
couples?
room, yeah. No, like if you had to choose
Oh.
your guy and your girl.
To date or like to play matchmaker?
To date.
I'm married.
Okay, but this is the
Okay,
hypothetical.
we can play over here then.
If you're
I
out,
cannot be a former reality TV person who says that this would be the person I would date if I was
That's
on
true.
a TV
That's
you can
true.
That's
show.
you can
true.
choose a boy.
But
you
we
can choose a
can't.
boy.
Jimmy,
Okay,
Which
Jimmy.
one?
Which one?
Oh yeah. Perfect match, Jimmy.
Love is blind.
Oh, no,
okay.
yeah.
I like Jimmy S.
No, I'm sorry, Damari.
Yeah.
Damari.
Oh, Damari is hot too.
Damari.
If I'm picking a girl, I'm picking Allie, no question. If I'm picking a boy, here's the thing: I want to say Damari, but Damari is a little, I don't know, sometimes his attitude a bit of the times. I'm just like,
What do you
I
mean
don't
his
want you to be mad at me.
attitude?
It's not that he has an attitude. He just the way he kind of shuts down a little bit. Sometimes I understand. I'm on
Shuts
his side
down
with.
Marissa, love her, but like she showed up to Perfect
No, no,
Match
no, no,
being
no, no,
like,
no, no,
you
no.
have to date me or I'll kill you.
I know, and I'm not saying. I'm more Team Damari than Team Marissa. I could just see myself if I was dating Damari,
I will say,
maybe getting a little annoyed.
Mary is right when they were in the boardroom, whatever they call it, and Marissa's like, "Wait, so you're friends?" And like, so you would go with her if she came after you? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, that was not the right answer.
Yeah, that was the part where I was like,
Yeah.
Tamari.
I think he was looking. I think he was
But-
hoping a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But overall, I would probably pick Damari or that cowboy that came in.
Yeah, the cowboy. He's like a part of the singles, right?
Yeah.
Is that Weston?
I need
forget.
more from him to be able to agree or disagree. But yeah, he was fun.
He came in with an interesting energy that I would maybe want to couple up with.
Okay.
There's an intensity to Marissa's dating choices
There
that
is,
I didn't see on Love Is Blind.
I love her.
I love her, but she is
Let her cook.
she is
Let her
very
cook.
intentional. Let's just say.
I think she probably represents how a lot of women would actually be, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, not just women, but people.
Well, we have Chris from Perfect Match coming up next, but before we get into Chris, I listen. I appreciate the cast members. I like Natalie and I have talked about this on Age of Attraction. We it's like there's a closeness that we feel to that cast. We look out for them. We're rooting for all of their successes.
They're your
We obviously had
kids.
Chris on Age of Attraction, and we announced his appearance of Perfect Match at the Age of Attraction reunion. And it came up in both our interview with Chris for Age of Attraction and at the reunion that he seems to be very like aware of reality TV, and it seems to have been like something that was on his radar for some time, and that's not a crime. Coupled with that, you see him on the show, and he acknowledges that he has this habit of like moving fast. He even named it as potentially love bombing, and then we see him whip out this like. Was it like a Prada wallet or something? I don't know.
It was a nice wallet.
A very nice designer thing. And like strangely wants to give it to Mackenzie after one night.
I would take it.
So funny.
Would you take
Yeah.
it, Susie? On a first date, guy whips out designer bag, says, "Do you want this?" I'm just like, I don't know. It's just like sitting in my car. I don't.
Actually, in the real world, I actually don't think I would, because I think I would be like, oh, there's like,
Something behind
yeah,
this.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, like this has never happened to me before. So
Mm.
I think I would be like cautious of it. If
If you were on Perfect Match, would you take it?
I was on Perfect Match, yeah, I'd be like, and then I'd go to the camera and I'd be like, this guy's crazy. Taking this home with me.
Would you want to match with him?
We talk with Chris coming up next. I challenge him a little bit, like because like again, I'm rooting for Chris. He's a very nice guy in person. He's very lovely. He's he's nice. He's charming.
Yeah, he is
And you
nice.
can tell,
sweet.
you can see that how the cast feels about him. But he's doing the thing that I've been talking so much about lately, which is like I think connects with the Weston Summer House, which is like this kind of new kind of guy who. Like he knows what love bombing is. He can name the thing. It's all part of the charm. Or it's like, oh, he's self-aware. Like I'm working on being a love bomber. Meanwhile, like, do you want this purse? And it's so like, it's the thing where it's just like these guys like Chris is as well-intentioned as he claims to be, or maybe even is. Like it's a type of behavior that at 26 years old, I think you have to start like taking a little bit more seriously and not like chalk it up as to like a goof and a like my bad. And if you can name the thing that you're working on, because like good on Mackenzie for like being like, I don't know, that's not for me. And obviously that's a little like that's like a little on the nose where like I don't think anyone would not feel a little uncomfortable receiving a gift like that. And even if they
For
were like really
sure.
excited about it, there's always like, what is this costing me? But more often it's not as obvious. It's a more subtle thing. And then Kayla walks in and then he's like just as in love with her. And like when he talks to these women, both of these women, he's just like being like, hey, listen, I'm feeling really great about this. This is like, I'm locked in. And he's clearly not locked in. He's like locked in the moment, and like, it's just like, I think a lot of people, and it's not just men, I think a lot of people like that. Well, like their excuse is like, well, that's how I felt then when I said it.
It's like I'm a lover boy or I'm a lover girl. I
Yeah.
feel like that's what's been used. That's the word that gets used now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think that's what that means, but okay.
Anyways, we talked to Chris about this. I wanted to see what he wanted to say because he's very smart. He's self-aware. He's a nice guy, but he does this thing where it's just like, again, and when we interviewed him, when we had him on Age of Attraction, there was a part of me that was just more like, I was more empathetic to Leah. because like the combination of him, like obviously like being interested in being on reality TV and moving quickly, I thought he got careless with Leah's feelings. And, you know, that's always like this fine line in relationships is like when you enter in a romantic relationship and feelings are intense, like sometimes you get hurt, you know, your feelings get hurt. And that doesn't always mean that the other person did something wrong or bad or nefarious. Sometimes like their feelings just changed and that's okay. But when you watch this type of behavior, like you see from Chris, and if that is a pattern, that is hard not to say like, yo, you can't keep moving like this because you are in fact going to be hurting a lot of women that you shouldn't have to hurt just for the sake of trying to make a connection. And yeah, he does the thing where it's just like, oh, I didn't know better. You know, it's very West Wilson coded where it's like, it's really funny and really charming and really cute until it's not,
Yeah.
you know, until someone really gets fucked up over it.
I think you hit the nail on the head on that.
Well, we do have Chris up next, and we have a conversation about this very thing with Chris. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about it. Tomorrow, we will get into all things Perfect Match, cover episodes 4 and 5. We also have Allie Luber and Allison from Perfect Match joining us tomorrow, as well as we'll cover the Real Housewives of Rhode Island that dropped on Sunday. And then we have a jam-packed episode for you on Thursday as well. But right now, it's Chris from Perfect Match. Well, welcome back, lover boy.
I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Oh, you didn't bring your sunglasses.
I brought him. I left him in the lobby. I didn't want
you don't want
deal
Nick
with that
to be
again.
mean to you about it
I was like,
again?
let me start on a good note here.
How did you feel like your Perfect Match experience went, Chris? Let's start there.
I feel a lot more confident in myself. I think I was a lot more vulnerable on Perfect Match. I wouldn't say it was good or bad, but it was definitely something different, and I'm excited for the world to watch, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, we got to know you a little bit on Age of Attraction, and then we had you on the reunion, and I gave you a little bit of shit about maybe
Warranted, fair.
lack of maturity. Sure. It seemed like you had a little bit. You're a very nice and charming guy. You seem like you have a nice heart, and your energy is calm. But then, like watching you on Perfect Match, it was more like, what's up with the gift giving? The thing that you do,
Be more specific.
Like who'd you get? Like
getting the girls Louis Vuitton. Was it a?
Yeah, you offer a Louis Vuitton wallet
yes.
to Mackenzie on night one.
Wow. That came out, didn't it? No, okay.
Did it not happen?
It did.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I mean, they talk about love languages, and I think gift giving is definitely one of my love languages.
That's fair.
I came on the show with a few things like that. A little wallet. I had two of them. No, I had one of them. I had one wallet, and I had some hats, like from Formula One, some like that was like given to me from the team. I thought it was cute. Wasn't planning to give it to someone on day one, but to be honest with you, me and Mackenzie had an interesting connection right off the bat, like very friendly, very comfortable. And I could tell that she was overthinking a lot. I'm such an overthinker. I don't know why I offered it on day one, but it really was just, hey, I opened my backpack, saw it, and I was like, would you like this? And she didn't like it, but she, her dad
do you appreciate why she...
Absolutely. I completely understand. Too quick. Also not necessary. Taking a gift and then expecting something. Maybe people take it that way. That's not how I meant it. But at the same time, her dad's into racing and cars, so I was able to give her one of the hats. I think she brought it back for him, so that was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come on the show and you kind of acknowledge that you have I think you even named it as a bit of like a love bomber kind of habit. Mm-hmm. And while I don't think we're using love bomb appropriately in those contexts, and you don't seem like you're
nefarious
about it, but nevertheless, you have it's always like it reads a little off to me when someone is self-aware enough to name the thing that they know is something they would have to work on, and yet then the very next thing they do is to do the thing that they know. That they have a bad habit of, whether it's the immediate gift giving. Mackenzie, it was like, I love you. I mean, I don't think you said the word I love you, but you spoke in a very intense and intentional way. And you come across as passionate or intentional, and that can read as either, too intense for some people or a little unsafe for others, because it's like, yo, like why are you so intense. And then Kayla walks in, and then like the next day, you're equally as in love with her, or so it seems. And I am just wondering when self-aware Chris, who can name the thing, is going to meet the Chris who can actually show up differently in relationships.
Yeah, I think that's fair for sure. But at the same time, well, I guess we can get into the detail of like Kayla coming in a second, right? But to answer that question first, I do think that I'm very intentional with relationships in general. That's why I probably have struggled in dating for a long time, because I'm very quick, and it's probably not a great thing, but I'm very quick to think about the future. Like, okay, I'm gonna be with this person now. What if I'm with her a year from now? How does that look, right? It's something that's going on in my head now. Specifically with Mackenzie, I think I was really just comfortable with her and trying to, even though I was struggling in my mind, just anxious for the whole situation, me trying to be vulnerable with her and being very open, I thought that would allow both of us to feel more comfortable. Clearly, I was wrong. I do have to be maybe more socially aware when I'm in that moment, because sometimes sharing everything's a little too much. But nothing that I told her was a lie by any means. I was very much into us. I thought that we could go do really well, honestly, on Perfect Match as far as staying together for a long time. But
it's almost scarier that it's not a lie in a way.
Well,
because you know what I'm saying? If you're like, you meet someone and you're like, yo, this relationship means a lot to me. I forgot specifically what you said, but it was very deep, and it was very like, yo, like this is it for me. I'm in. And it's almost scarier when people who might not be as in touch with their feelings believe the thing that they are almost trying out on people, or at least that's
I wouldn't say trying out. Now, I do think it's really important for people to understand where there was a switch between Mackenzie and then to Kayla.
Sure.
So you're moving in with someone on the first night, and like I said, it was very comfortable right off the bat and very cool. Obviously, there's an element of you do want to be in a room with someone you're comfortable with, that you're friendly with, but after night 2, I think Mackenzie was, and it was very nice and fair for her to be honest and say, this is a little too much. You know, you're intentional about being in a relationship. I do think this is a little too much. She inferred that, pretty much said it verbatim, but not exactly, and then said, she talked about, she had requested somebody to come into the house. And that's when everything changed for me. So she said that she requested someone to come in the house and that he's there and that he's waiting to come in as a bombshell. Now, she kind of insinuated that if he comes in, I'm going to be switching to him.
Okay, that's
and
fair.
then that night, she slept on the couch in the room. Nothing wrong with that. But it was funny because when I woke up, I was like, damn, I just got couched. I was the one doing the couching on my last show. And I just woke up and was like, I was like, it's not good. And like kind of was honest about it with her and just was like, hey, this is, but we're together and I still see us together and I'm not expecting to wake up tomorrow and switch. And I told her that as well, that I'm still in this, although it might not be moving the direction we want, like I'm still going to give all that we got. We knew bombshells were coming in. We didn't know who they would pick. So the singles come in and obviously we have 3 of them. And very quickly, Kayla was asking about me and she asked Mackenzie, just the girls, but she was like, hey, who's this guy with? And Mackenzie said, it's, he's with me. I think immediately that made things uncomfortable. Obviously, Mackenzie was already dealing with a lot, completely fair. So, everybody's overthinking to a certain degree. And she just came off of a competition show, which is very different than going into a dating show. So I think immediately the fight or flight kind of kicked in. And that's when she came to me and I was like, look, I'm not expecting Kayla to pick me tomorrow. We had a great conversation, but she had a great conversation with Damari and I thought with Jimmy as well. So I said, I'm still in this. I'm not expecting her to pick me tomorrow. Now, if she does, that'd be really cool, obviously, and it'd feel great. And then fast forward, she chose me, Dave chose Mackenzie. Best case scenario is Mackenzie's birthday. I did not want to go on this date, leaving her back at the retreat. I mean,
but didn't she already tell you that she was like waiting for someone else?
She didn't, she inferred that. She did. So that's why it was very odd that like the next day when Kayla came in and chose me, it was like such an issue, I felt like, because I told her I'm still with it. I'm still in this. I'm not gonna, I think it's unfair to expect someone's gonna choose you, even if you have a good conversation. It's not fair to anybody, but it's also unfair to just start thinking about someone else while you're sleeping in the same room as somebody. I do think I wanted to at least be myself, be vulnerable. And I definitely was vulnerable on Perfect Match.
So then how did you go from that to like whatever you said to Kayla, which was also very intense and very like, I love you?
I think that when Mackenzie did talk about requesting someone and coming in, I for sure mentally and emotionally pulled off. I mean, I'm definitely the type of person that can like, in a bad way, just remove myself a little bit emotionally and kind of just took a breath the entire day. Finally, at night, we had another good conversation, but that's when I started looking at myself. I'm like, okay, maybe just hold your tongue for a second. Don't overspeak. It's okay to think certain things. And I tried that. I think I did a good job of that. Again, with Kayla, we connected on, I mean, she's beautiful. We connected, we're physically attracted, all that, but she has deep faith, and that's something that's so important to me. She led with that. It's not even something that we like forcefully started talking about. And I think that just allowed, again, me to be very comfortable. Also, I felt so chosen for the first time on the show. I mean, on any reality show, that somebody sought me out so much that they wanted to get to know me, want to be with me. That wasn't just, I'm attracted to you, just like I wanted to get to know your heart. I'm not saying the other women weren't doing that, but that was the first time I'd ever felt that. And I wasn't sure if that was real on reality TV. So I was really happy with that. And then after our first date, it wasn't until after the first date was over that I was like, you know what? This is really cool. I mean, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. I was really happy in that moment.
Okay.
Do you think that like the idea of being chosen is something that like with the gifts giving, like do you think, not to be therapy person over here, but like are you looking for like someone to choose you like that, and that's why you like kind of show up in the way you do?
That's fair. I do think that I do love that feeling of being chosen, but I don't think that's why I like the gift giving. I mean, when you give something to somebody, whether it's time or like just, I don't know, a wallet, in the end of the day, usually people aren't used to that. And I try to have, the pre-thought, like I thought enough to bring something that someone I might be giving it to. It's a little too much, and I could dial it back, but that really is the thought.
Yeah.
You seem to, from what we hear from you, you're a very financially successful young man.
I'm working on it.
Well, that's how you present. You talk about it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's any truth or maybe something behind? Do you think you talking about the watches and the giving the luxury gifts is a way of, talking about your money without talking about your money in a way that might be reading as like an insecurity?
Talk about therapy with Nick. That's a good way to put it. I don't think it's an insecurity. I really don't think so, man. The gift giving, if you look at like the way I was raised, my mom, I mean, we would go to Lebanon and she'd bring 2 suitcases to bring as gifts, and people that we barely even knew.
Yeah, but you could give a card and write a sweet note.
100%.
It could be just as meaningful
100%.
as like
True.
naming the luxury watches that you own, or the giving the luxury wallets and purses. In a way, there's a name brand element to your gift giving that is. It says, I have money, I have money, I have money. And I'm just wondering, is that just a coincidence, or do you think maybe there's something there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's too much there, but maybe it's not a coincidence. At the same time, it's part of my culture a little bit.
Okay.
So I do think that's the biggest thing. But is there tads of insecurity? For sure. I mean, I deal with a lot of different insecurities that I think I've grown up to manage much better than I ever have in life. And I feel secure about myself and where I'm at now. That's why, again, I think people aren't necessarily used to just someone putting their heart out on the table. And sometimes, I try to do that a little. I probably tried to do that a little too much with Mackenzie early, now looking back, just because sometimes we need to take a breath and understand ourselves as well. But I don't think that being disingenuous is fair at all on this show, because I was anything but that. I was definitely genuine. I was definitely into Mackenzie. I was very into Kayla, and
So you were caught off guard. You felt it was a bit unjust for you to be voted off as the most insincere person.
Absolutely. There's no.
You didn't understand where anyone was coming from?
I did understand where everyone was coming from. They knew that I was not the most disingenuous person there. Everybody in that room knows that, and they know it in their heart, and they may not admit it. But
why do you think you got voted off?
Because, me and Kayla were the strongest couple in the house at that point. There's no question about it. She comes in, had a huge target on her back. I mean, to spill the drama, the reality is that
I think I think hers was pretty unfair. I mean, she showed up
super unfair. The girls talked about, or there was people that talked about, I don't know exactly names, about how they're going to have each other's backs on the starters, specifically the girls. She came in, huge target, direct across. We sit there that night. Nick Lachey brings us all together, and he's like, I want everybody to give their definition of love. Why are you trying to be here? And we start around, and my boy Jimmy, he starts, and he kind of gave and we laugh about it now, but I'm like, you gave the worst answer you could have possibly given. It was like, honestly, like, this is like a game to me, because getting to the end is going to be success. And it was like exactly the opposite of what you want to hear. And I'm like, Jimmy. But anyway, we go around the circle. Of course, it gets to me, and I give the whole, I'm always ready for a speech. I said something like, I've been always an overthinker, but, as I've sat, sometimes with overthinking, we miss the blessings right in front of us. Kayla's been such a blessing in my life, something cute. And we go around, and then it was finally well, now you're going to vote for the person that you feel like is here not trying to find love. And in the back of my head, I'm like, Jimmy, what if you're fucked? And I was like, damn. But at the same time, I hope this gets spoken about. Me and Jimmy were really cool on the show. And that morning, he came and knocked on my door, and I was doing the bicep curls or something. He's like, hey, can I do some bicep curls? We're sitting there talking. He's like, bro, you're honestly a homie. I could tell 5 minutes into the show that you were real. He shook my hand, looked me in the eyes, and he was like, I want to have your back no matter what happens. He wasn't thinking about any vote out. But he's like, I want to have your back. I want to just be honest with each other. And I looked him in the eyes, shook his hand. I said, I got your back no matter what. That's exactly what I said. And then that night when the vote started, in the back of my head, of course, I had a feeling that it was probably Jimmy or me. I went into that vote. I scratched my vote. I voted on Yeaman. I told him after there. And he scratched his vote. I think he voted Jimmy S. We didn't vote for each other, knowing that we were a big target. And then when we went into the votes, it was a deadlock tie, obviously. So pretty interesting and pretty cool. Obviously, at the end, it was me that was voted out. But I was still happy with that. I was still happy that the people that knew me and spent more time with me than anyone else, Allison, Jimmy S., Jimmy P., Natalie at the time, people that knew me on the show, they didn't vote for me because they knew that I was being genuine. And yeah, you know, I do believe, and I know that I just said, I'll say it again, I think that the people in the house knowing me now will go back and say the truth.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, as you get to know each other, you know. But I just want, are you open to the possibility that you weren't voted off because everyone was afraid of you and Kayla being the perfect match, but maybe because whether they were misreading you or not, that your intensity with Mackenzie and your intensity with Kayla,
that's
you
fair,
can't
for
be
sure.
too in love. You know, it's like you can't fall in love with two people in 2 days. And you were, regardless of whatever your reasons were maybe suggesting that you could, and that might be thought of as a bit
That's fair. That's
insincere.
fair. Yeah, 100%. That's fair. It's fair, but I don't believe that's what happened, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you were there.
Yeah.
How's your Age of Attraction cast doing? You keep in
I
touch
love the
with
age.
them?
You know, I love my AOA cast family. Honestly, Andrew, my boy, stayed in Miami for a little bit, and Libs. Logan and V still doing great, which is awesome to see.
Awesome.
Are John and
Isn't that
Teresa
cool?
still pretending to do whatever they're pretending
won't
to do?
they?
John and Teresa are out. They're not doing their thing.
No.
They're out.
they're
Okay.
on
Because
separate sides of the
I
spectrum.
just, there
Good
were
for
always
them.
a couple like,
Separate sides of
You
the
know,
spectrum.
good for them.
good for
Honestly.
them.
Yeah.
It's best that they,
Probably
but
for
there
the
were a
best.
couple
Yeah.
like TikToks I saw floating around the internet. You
Yeah.
know, I was like, I thought they're not talking.
I know. I saw Viall yesterday, 2 days ago.
oh,
She went out to
nice.
eat. She's great. Viall's great. Yeah,
Okay.
she's a homie.
Yeah.
I love that. We really created a cool family, and like with all the drama and all the BS, like I think that all of us are respectful and mature enough to like get past that. You know?
What's your next big reality TV dream?
I kind of want to get into. So we've talked about Survivor. How many times we said that, and then
Yeah.
the first vote out I ever had in my life, I get freaking voted out. so I need another chance at a voting show. I want to do some type of game show. Maybe
Okay.
I don't want to drop a name yet, but some type of game show, something that'll allow me to test my speaking ability, and hopefully people can find me genuine for real. So
Okay.
Maybe a less relationship
maybe something
focused
less
game
relationship
show.
focused for now.
All right.
Although I had a great time on both shows, and to be honest with you, with all the negative, there's so much more positive. And again, I'm much more confident. Although there's notion of people and what people expect, or what, you know, love bombing this and that, I do believe I was honest and true on this show. And I think that sometimes I need to dial back and grow.
Mm-hmm.
But the growth from Age of Attraction to Perfect Match, I think, was huge.
What did you learn about yourself?
Well, that trying to help other people all the time, sometimes the best thing you can do is just be vulnerable, be yourself. You know, I think with Leah, when we moved into each other together, I was so focused on this routine and trying to be proper and trying to do the things at home so I could show her what my daily life is and trying to keep things right. And I came into this and I was like, just be yourself, stop overthinking everything. And you know, the back to the thing, like the relationship's not going to be valuable if it's not vulnerable. I need to be vulnerable, like actually vulnerable. So maybe I need to find a little medium happy in between, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I have a question, Chris. If it shouldn't have been you and Kayla, who should have been voted out there?
Great question.
good question. It should have been, well, no, not even to be strategic. I really think that in the moment, I do believe, and this is just the reality, I think it should have been Yeaman. I think he was the least genuine with any, and it's funny because I actually did vote for him, but that's not why I voted for him. I think he was the least genuine in that moment with any of the women. On the women's side, I can't specifically say anybody because I did vote for Mackenzie, and I probably would have voted for Mackenzie again because now looking into it, I don't.
You voted Mackenzie out?
I did. I voted for Mackenzie.
Savage.
I knew she was voting for me, and I voted for us genuinely because she was sitting there with Dave when she had already told me that she's waiting for a guy to come in that was not Dave, right? So I'm like, kind of odd, I thought. So it's okay. No,
Who was the guy?
Danny.
From Temptation Island? He's hot.
No, yeah. So, and I love Danny, to be honest.
Have you learned which boy band Nick Lachey is in?
Yeah, that's really important.
Backstreet Boys?
Oh my
Nope.
God.
No, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Stop it, please.
98
Who's my
degree-
favorite Nick? I thought you were going to ask me that.
98 degrees.
Who's your favorite host, Nick? Come on.
It can be Lachey. I'm harder on you. I care because I love, you know.
I know, bro. I appreciate it.
Well, it's good to see you again, man. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm sure we'll see you on reality TV again.
You think so?
Who was didn't we find out that you had some kind of tryst with when you were 18? What was that? Like your truth or dare, like the planks?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you're like, yeah, he made out with her. I don't know what was it?
Hooked up with a reality star when I was 18, yeah.
And she was
48-year-old.
48.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was actually, yeah.
Is she still on reality TV now?
I don't know.
Okay.
No.
Survivor, right?
She was not on Survivor, no.
But I mean, it's something you've been passionate about for some time now.
Yeah, well, that was all right. So that was when we had the charity going with different contestants.
I'm not talking about older women. I'm talking about reality TV.
going. Yeah, it's a cool. The actual full thing. When my parents went through a divorce, I was like 16, 17. It's probably the first time I ever actually felt any like depression or any type of like mental health, whatever. And I definitely found myself losing myself in reality TV, watching other people's lives and trying to like not forget my problems in that, but it was a source of peace, a source of reprieve.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, for 2 or 3 years, it's all I wanted to do was go on Survivor. And then once I didn't get on it, started speaking, started getting, and I honestly, since 2018, I said the best blessing that ever happened to me was not going on Survivor, but how it all came together, and I think full circle, it is such a blessing. Is it something that I would do now? Probably not. That shit looks really hard.
Survivor.
But yeah, but it still was a blessing. And I think how things worked out were amazing. So if I get the opportunity to do another show, God willing, everything works out, and then we can take a look. So.
Well, it's good to catch up with you, buddy.
Good to catch up with you too, man. I like the show.
I know you got voted off, but you came back, and we'll see how things play out for you.
Exactly. Well, thanks for having me again.
Good to see you,
Super
buddy.
nice to see you.
All right, well, that will do it for today's episode. Thank you to our guests, Chris and Cynthia Bailey, both for joining us. Also, don't forget, we are back tomorrow with another episode of Reality Recap. We have Allie Luber. We have Allison, also from Perfect Match. We'll be talking Real Housewives of Rhode Island and so much more. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.